Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and most. And joining me are my friends, Matt, Dan, Kara, and Olive. Ari/Gibbs is not feeling so well, but will be joining us next week. A couple of quick announcements before we get started. First of all, we have bits and channel points, two different ways that you can support the stream. Bits are Twitch's microcurrency. They're awesome. They're super helpful. They allow us to do a lot of really cool things, like afford animation for both streams, which the Mosaic Team 5 ones are going to be, I believe the first draft is going to be done October 2nd.
So soon!
Very soon, yeah. So for Mosaic Team 5, there's going to be some animations. Between the announcements and the recap, we're going to be able to do like a stinger, a little intro. So that's going to be really cool. And that's all really thanks to people supporting us. So thank you for that. Channel points are the other way that you can support us. You accumulate channel points by watching, and you can use those to steer the story in different ways. Right now, the two different reward paths will influence how Steel behaves likely, or more importantly, what kind of support Steel has going behind his actions. So you can do that with channel points. We also have... What was that?
This is a dumb metal joke.
Very nice. We also have @AlberonRPG, our Instagram. That is the social media where you can find a lot of updates. You can also find close-ups of a lot of the maps, things like our ship, the Directive Zero, which is a little bit full at the moment. And even though you can see it pretty well right here, actually, you can see it even better on Instagram @AlberonRPG. We also have a website @AlberonRPG.com. There's no @ there. And then tomorrow night, we're going to be playing our original 5th edition D&D campaign, Courts of Everest. That is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. And then the very last announcement is that we have a new piece of art that is coming from Sophie Bischoff that is for our D&D campaign. It is an entire art for the party, and that will also be coming out on Instagram relatively soon. And then finally, Sirenscape, digital toolset that you can use to add sound effects to your games, whether it is this nifty Western music, or this is called Walking Mech. I don't hear it, but maybe it's happening in the background.
There
it is.
Oh, it took a second to power up. That's what it was. You can't just cold start those things. You got a woman scream, all kinds of things. Sirenscape, digital tool set. Halloween's coming up. All right. Spooky. I was thinking, actually, honestly, about using Sirenscape.
Can't believe it's already almost spooky month.
No, it's spooky.
It is
weather
spooky
right
season.
now.
Yeah, it's cold outside.
I'm gonna guess do a recap.
Where's my news?
You're on there. I'm not sure where you are. but
Lost
you're
in
on
the crowd.
there. Yeah, for real. I think most of you are in the cargo bay on the ship itself.
Anyway,
Mosaic Team 5. Last that we played, you found yourselves aboard a solar system spanning train, now very much dead and drifting in space, though the passengers all still very much alive. Worse, the SOS sent out by the train conductor had attracted more attention than just the USR rescue forces they were summoning. It also attracted the attention of pirates who dropped into the system just 4 hours out. Thinking quickly, Echo hid the android bodies beneath the smuggler's compartment as Spice brought all 23 passengers aboard the small Directive Zero. Gibbs watched Tony Jr. suffer as she used air hostessing duties such as making hot chocolate and getting people settled into temporary accommodations for the trip to Prime Station in order to avoid a very uncomfortable conversation. Bubs, you took it upon yourself to talk to Tony Jr., offering condolences, speaking about father figures. Spice and Bubbles also stole a solid gold hand from an incredibly expensive statue that certainly will not be missed. Shade dropped the group into the drift and escaped the pirates, contacted the USR relief force to report that they would bring all stranded passengers to Prime Station. You made your way with Gibbs tearing up the favor that Bubs had given her for Christmas, considering the favor more than repaid by helping Tony Jr. Spice, you got a goblin drunk. And as the drift travel clock ticks down from 5 minutes, we're going to rewind quickly to catch up with our android Echo. Give me just 1 second here. Okay. So Echo, the group boards, and Gibbs tells you that there are going to be all these people who are coming aboard. So you have these two android bodies now in the smuggler's compartment with many Eats Meets Pucks, wrappers. There is a dried, crusty blood stain in one corner of the floor. There are still elements of Vesk body parts that nobody has cleaned up, now like desiccated and quite badly shrunken down. And your two androids.
I think first order of business is Echo just like kind of whispers to the director, Director, is it possible to get one of the cleaning bots down here?
Yes, Echo. I can do that.
It would be most appreciated.
Upstairs, you hear like a little and you hear like the little wheels going on the deck, and then just it just like hits the ground, and then the wheels wheel it back up, and it starts just kind of sweeping back and forth. The director says, "You will need to assist this unit in reaching the main deck."
When it's done.
It's like a Roomba. It's not
The
gonna just jump
Roomba's
up.
fallen in, I understand.
It doesn't have thrusters.
So you, at this point, get a message on your communicator, and it is the drift countdown clock, and a miracle has occurred. Shade is going to get you there in 1 day. 23 hours, 59 minutes, etc.
I
etc.
did it.
Echo comes back up to Shade. Did you use a drift beacon? ...
No response. So you have about a day. Is there anything that you're going to do prior to your arrival in Prime Station?
Echo would probably just make sure that the two other units are kind of secure. Maybe just like having them set up like against the wall, not really like kind of like hiding them in a little cubby, but like as if they're just like taking a nap.
Like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
But after they've done that, they're going to spend a lot of time, since they don't want to make too much noise and draw attention to the smuggling compartment, basically on the infosphere researching the new releases and whatnot of new technology that seems to have some connection to Pleiades Rock.
Okay. Make a cultures check.
18.
So you connect to the infosphere, and as you guys travel through the drift, and you can hear the soft hum of the drift engine, it's hard. There's a lot happening upstairs. You can hear the crowd milling about, and somebody asking for a blanket, and you can hear Spice like laughing, and then a goblin laughing.
Some alcohol like filters through like the little vents.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's a little distracting. But what I will say is, you find nothing. And that's very interesting in that there is no... You get the sense that Pleiades Rock is probably not what you're looking for, in that that is not a name that is going to be connected to anything. Whether it's active or not is hard to say, but you get the sense that you're looking for the wrong words, maybe.
That tracks. But that's what Echo would be doing, is just... Can I take 20 if I'm researching?
What I will say is with an 18, you do come across the most recent article or news article about, or that contains Pleiades Rock as like a term. And it's talking a little bit about something that is called... It's talking about the last of the Pleiades Rock assemblages closing down. And the assemblages being the factories in which Echo units and other things are produced. But it may be like, at this point, close to a decade ago, the last one shut down. It doesn't say where, but it's one of those little tiny footnotes in the news that doesn't really... There's no comments, there's not a lot of views. It's just there.
It just mentions that it shut down.
The last of the Pleiades Rock assemblages shut down today.
Does it say what was made there?
It does not. And with an 18, can't really find anything connected to that. If only you knew somebody else connected to Pleiades Rock.
Busy.
Anything else?
No, Echo would keep trying that thread and keep hitting dead ends and getting frustrated in the compartment.
As you do that, you do kind of glance at your communicator, and you do still have that last burst transmission from 899, and it has those coordinates to Lola's. Look, thinking about the drift clock, that's counted down, and as it's counting down towards like 5 hours, 4 hours, if 899 had meant to meet you there, they're probably gone now. But something to think about. So the clock now ticks down to the final 5 minutes. Is there anything that you all want to do before arriving in Prime Station?
I'm gonna set Squeak up for at least a little while. Hoping to be quick here. So
Is Spice in the armory?
Sure.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. What, do you not want me to be there?
No, I'll go to the
Maybe
bathroom
why.
then. Bubs is going to practice.
And we fade.
Excuse me.
No, Bubs just needs a mirror. He's just going to practice his dancing skills in front of a mirror.
Make an athletics check.
Ooh, I'm not so good at those either.
I am gonna put on the right transponder.
Okay.
Just
Which
to-
one?
The
You have
official
3
Mosaic one.
Okay.
Before I roll, can I get any plus? Because I've been training real hard, and I got dancing and flame in my heart. Okay.
I just want to be clear because it's been a minute. When 899 pinged, sent Echo the coordinates for Lola's, was that directly from their comm system?
It was from it's from an unknown comm system, and based on the technology level, you would imagine from that starship's comm system.
Can I respond to it?
No. And that's a very interesting thing. There's no connection there. However this works, it seems to there seems to be a tertiary point that it beams to, and then it just gets lost in the infosphere, this connection. This is a step beyond traditional optical or radar stealth. This is informationally stealthy, this craft.
Okay.
Such that from this craft, you imagine, unlike your ship, you would be able to access the infosphere and use it relatively untracked.
Would have been so useful.
Yeah.
Does Lola's have an answering service that I can contact?
An answering service?
I
I'm
don't know. They
sorry.
have a phone.
This is
Takeout
Lola's
service.
takeout and pickup.
You've never contacted Lola's, and you have no communication to them. They don't have an infosphere site.
Besides our drift beacon.
19.
Okay. With the 19, you stand in the bathroom. There are, within the first 2 minutes, knocks because you have, 30 people aboard your ship.
Just a minute.
There's only one accessible bathroom to them immediately, and then there's one in the crew chamber, and so, really, you're taking up an important piece of real estate.
Yeah.
But no problem. You dance a little bit, and you feel pretty good about your progress. It's hard.
I clean the bathroom. I feel like I own a lot of it.
Whether that's true or not, with so many
You'd be
people,
cleaning it a lot more.
their poop has to come out. It's not like they're just gonna be like, you know what? I think
There
that
are
guy.
multiple species of poop.
Yeah, that guy really did a good job cleaning. I don't have to poop anymore. I don't think that's how it works. But yeah, you get a little bit of dancing and you feel pretty good about it. I would say, Bubbles, you feel good enough about it to feel like if you and Spice were to dance privately, you'd be great. You're a little bit more uncertain about whether or not. I know, yeah. Ooh, I just pressed the wrong button. Sorry, I just pressed the button.
Bubs just stares off
Yeah.
into the distance of just, will I become the best dancer?
Actually, hang on. Let's just think a little bit more appropriate. So yeah, Bubbles, you worry that if you were to do something competitive, you are just on the cusp of maybe being able to hold that. You need a little bit of practice, maybe, especially if you're going to go with Spice. But who knows? Maybe Spice can. You remember your performance on the train? You guys killed it.
Yeah.
So who knows?
No, Bubs is
Anybody else?
Maybe
Anything for prior to Prime Station?
Getting ready to hail the presumably Ginsburg, but I probably have to go through the docking channels or whatever.
Just trying to exhaust every avenue I have. Echo, when thinking about the Lola's connection, kind of pings up to Shade. It's like, do we have the comms unit for Lola's?
over the encrypted channel with the WhisperCom, I would say comm channel, question mark?
I feel like you would know that Spice
We
has
have
Lola's
the
number.
transponder.
I would know that.
Yeah, Spice wasn't quiet about it.
I don't think you have
Over there.
Lola's number. We
Or
have.
She gave me.
We
or
got
sh-
the
Or she has
drift
mine.
beacon. Yeah, we
No,
got the
it's-
drift beacon to get back there.
Yeah,
in
when
a
you
day.
wanted the surgery, I think. you
Right.
got it, yeah.
So I was like, Lola.
She has your communicator.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I don't have hers.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. Never mind.
Is there? Can I see? Is there a Lola's Diner contact page in the infosphere?
Yeah,
For just
Echo
There
already
wasn't.
looked at those.
Just to know if someone had grabbed her.
Yeah.
contact.
Lola's is really a place that, like, it's word of mouth. Almost
Right.
everybody
Yeah,
has
it's
heard
like-
about it and knows about it. But unless you
It's
find
like
it the
that
first
random
time or
fucking
somebody
diner
brings
up in
you.
the middle of New Hampshire that
Yes.
no one knows.
They sell
Exactly.
e-cigarettes.
I mean, Lola and all of her snakes are smoking cigarettes. So I mean, like,
If you're like, you got a cigarette.
Did Pete give you the contact for the Harbinger Robotics representative?
Peep didn't give me the contact.
no. However, you do have the contact for. Whoa.
Then I guess it began. It was Thinis. I don't actually think you gave us the name of him, the guy who made us sign the contract. But I remember you telling me his species was Cineus arborginian. It was two.
It was the guy we met at Lola's.
Cineus Arboginius?
No, it's the guy who made us sign the contract for Harbinger. Oh, unless you're thinking of that other guy.
No, I'm thinking of the one we met at Lola's.
Not the one you met at Lola's. That's not the one you have a contact for. Give me just.
Yeah, we're talking about the. You weren't here for this episode. This is
No,
the.
I'm talking about the Lola's
yeah,
Harbinger
okay.
guy.
No, we're talking about Mosaic Team 5, Session 5.
Yeah, Thineus arborginius. I would like to know this guy's name and
Yeah.
also species.
Give me 1
'Cause
second.
this is-
Session 5?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta go
Way
back.
back.
My God, that
That's-
was like
That is
a year
not
and a
who
half ago.
Echo is
I
talking
still-
about. Echo has no idea what that's about.
Yeah, I do want this guy's name.
This is so fitting for Shade right now that my notes.
Chaz Jack. Oh yeah, let me spell it out for you. DCHAZJAC.
Not.
And you actually
Check
remember.
one Tobin. Not.
Not
No,
cheese
no,
mix.
this is session 5.
Yeah.
This is Session 5.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
his name.
This is a gentleman who you actually have their internal Harbinger email too.
Yeah, and they made it sound like contract.
It's SharonD@harbinger.robo, and you have that individual. So they're an engineer for Harbinger Robotics. You know that, and they work for Harbinger Robotics factory number 7.
What is his species?
He's a Sharon. Or no, sorry. He's a Capac. I think
Yeah.
he's a Capaxi.
Yeah, that's what I was. Okay, it's a Capac. I was wondering that for literally this entire campaign.
Why do you just ask?
I've been meaning to. I forget.
We're in 8 group chats together. You could just say, "Hey, which one of these
It was on,
motherfuckers
it was
is
on
it?"
my to-do list.
You should put it in the D&D one.
So we have his contact info, but
He is the lead engineer for Harbinger Robotics fabrication plant number 114.
and that was at the Harbinger Robotics facility where the kids almost died.
Ooh, I gave you the wrong name. Apologies. I gave you an engineer at that factory. This guy's name was Thin Mito. ThinMito. Arxon. ARXIN.
You were not even close.
I had thin. I had
Why
the
are
T
you
part.
so excited? You're
Because
like,
I've been.
yes,
It's literally in my notes. It's been like
Thin
thin
Meebo.
is something.
Thin Meebo.
But we don't have any contact
For this
for the dude
particular...
who sold us the cryo chamber.
I don't make these decisions. You guys do.
Echo's gonna make a note of this and just endeavor to like get more people's numbers.
Okay. Gibbs actually has the most
Gibbs
out of
has
anybody.
them all.
so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple.
But Gibbs
That
isn't
become more
here, so I
social.
can't like
Yeah.
ask Gibbs.
You want to talk to Lydell?
No.
No, that's
think
a
so.
different company.
Very specifically not.
Anything else before we reach?
I guess I just let a thread. I just shred it. I just burn it with fire. Apparently, just by sheer lack of unable to do anything.
Okay, no worries.
I really did not want to do that. That's so annoying.
Hey, you know what? It's you had to go to a wedding. It's unfortunate.
It is. Don't get married. Just then make me go to it.
No. You should get married and I'll come to it.
the two different faces of weddings right here.
So,
Unless you want
all of you make your way, or I guess, are you doing anything prior to arriving at the station?
I'm probably gonna
Hailing the proper channels.
You'll have to do that once you arrive.
I'll probably find Spice.
Okay.
And she's probably a couple drinks in. Babe.
I think I'll probably walk in, like, I don't knock. I just open the door to the bathroom, and you're in there, and I go,
Just dancing, like holding like a roll of toilet paper, just like doing his best. Yeah.
oh! What are you doing in here? Who's that?
No one. It's just competitive cleaning.
Okay.
What brings you to the bathroom?
Pissing, actually.
Oh, yeah. I'm like really excited for like our surprise because like we're gonna babe, we're gonna have so much fun. Our date is gonna be great, babe.
I cannot wait. You know what I'm also excited for?
Oh my god, what?
Meeting your dad.
Oh my god, Steel?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You hear footsteps coming down the hall, and you can see this older man who comes up, and he's just like, "Excuse me, I need to tinkle."
No, wait in line, sir.
Oh my god, babe. Steel has this the funniest old Earth
This guy.
shows. It's oh my god, he has this show about like these three guys, and they're like the silly guys. They're like the three, they call them the three silly guys, and they like hit each other in the face, and then one of them like blocks it with like their fingers, and then they like hit them in the oh my god.
It sounds amazing. I can't
I'm
wait.
gonna show you the three silly guys. You're gonna love it, babe.
Okay, I'm stoked.
So you both argue there. You can see this old guy who is just standing there. He's wearing like a drab green jacket. He's just kind of like jiggling up and down. And at a certain point, he just goes, "I'm terribly sorry. I really need to go. And you're just talking. Please."
Sir, just wait in line like the rest of us. Babe, so tell me about where Steel is.
Oh, well, he has his own place. It's like super messy because like usually I'm like the only one who like
He walks
cleans.
off.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I was ready for him to pee and stuff. Anyway, okay.
But like I probably could give a good cleaning over like the place, like. But babe, like they have like a pull-out couch, and oh my god, babe, there's like a loose spring in it, but it's pretty comfortable, and like, and babe, like they have like the best fake meat outside. I mean, like. I can't taste it, but like Steel tells me it's the best, so like I believe him because he's like an expert on like, oh my god, I should call him and ask him if like we could like stay at his place or just crash there or like hang out. Oh, you're gonna love my fake dad.
Spice.
You're gonna love my fake dad.
Well, what is better than showing your girlfriend your fake dad hanging out with him?
No, I
For your
just think
second date.
it's just the phasing. The phrasing, I think, is the best part. But yeah, no, definitely hanging out with your fake dad on a second date is the move.
Yeah.
I can't wait. My gosh, this sounds like a dream come true.
Oh my god. He's gonna drop like the toilet paper and all that stuff, and then grab her hand. Oh my god, babe. Do you wanna also use the bathroom?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Oh.
I'll see you out there.
Oh yeah.
Keep those dancing shoes on.
Oh. Bubsec doesn't realize. He looks down to see if he has dancing shoes on. Yeah.
Spice just closes the door.
There you go. And the clock counts down. And the drift falls away from all of you, and you can see, for those of you near a window or in the cockpit, the interstitial sort of purple luminous clouds fade away and is replaced by a billion glimmering lights radiating out from a titanic, sprawling space station. So huge that even at a distance, to meaningfully see all of it would take more than a day. Different species and cultures have slowly added their vessels here as they arrive, including no small numbers of hive worlds or craft world vessels. So much so that the primary space station, the superstructure, is no longer really visible. The exterior is slowly standardized, and so much of it is covered by these smart polarizing series of glass panels that can change the level of polarity to harvest sunlight from the kind of ambient light around. As such, there is almost like a glass shell over much of the ship. And this allows, there is like a barrier that is in the vacuum between this glass shell and the ship itself. So any part of the ship can be a window. They don't need to worry about the structural integrity of it quite as much. It does mean that in order to land, you really can only go through the docking bays, for what it's worth. And probably interesting to all of you. There are thousands of ships that quickly blur into an ocean of transponders shade on the computers, so much so that it becomes like background noise, and then instantly, all at once, goes quiet. And your scanners read only the largest ships around you, and you are hailed by Prime Station aft approach.
Except the transmission.
Okay. Greetings, Starship. Please identify yourself along with political affiliation, length of stay, and itinerary in order to be cleared for a landing bay.
This is Mosaic Shuttle 5 of Mosaic.
What is your political affiliation?
Unaffiliated. What do you say on the polls? What is that when you don't want to...
Independent.
Independent.
When
Is
you
that
said
an
that,
option?
I immediately thought of North and South Pole.
No, no, no.
The equator.
Choose not to answer.
Nominally,
True North.
Nominally, what is Mosaic affiliated with? Are
So,
they USR technically?
If you want to get into like crazy legality of it, Mosaic Team 5 is a limited liability corporation that was founded in the USR.
so
It doesn't have a permanent office, but its paperwork and taxes go to the
are
USR.
filed in the USR. So on paper, the answer would be USR. So I would say USR affiliation.
And how long will you be staying?
Jeez. 1 day.
No.
That will be easy to clear. One moment, and the line goes dead for just a moment. Is there anything that you're doing in the meantime?
Can I extend the stay if needed?
You don't know. I mean,
I'm wondering this. Yeah.
you can see, so you can call them back if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Mosaic Team 5.
I'm sorry. I believe there is a misunderstanding. We are here to rendezvous with the Ginsburg.
That is not a misunderstanding. You said you were staying for 1 day. Are you revising your stay? Are you
There's-
revising your stay?
Yes.
How long will you be staying?
50 days.
We have a permanent accommodation.
We'll just build the beep.
You hear a beep in the background. Please hold for a randomized inspection. PLEA TA4 is en route to your location. We ask that you leash or kennel all pets, disable any anti-personnel equipment, and assign a crew member to review your cargo manifest with the inspections agent. Thank you. And all of a sudden on your ship, a little blip appears and you can see PLEA TA4, a shuttle, is en route.
Echo.
ETA 3 minutes 45 seconds.
Going off of the notes from last session when I was in absentia, Echo has like created a little extra smuggler's compartment,
Okay.
so they're extra secure behind the panel.
Okay. No problem. Extra smuggler's compartment. I like that.
It's not
Okay.
great.
Anything that you guys want to do?
Do we get a message from Shade about any of this?
I'm going to in a second, but first I gotta whisper calm to Echo.
Okay.
As soon as he does that, I will do something.
I feel like Spice sees or hears the director says like whatever about 50 days, and she goes, "Babe, we live here now."
Oh my god.
50 days.
Babe.
That's a long time.
Oh my god, babe. We're
I
gonna see
hope
all
your
this.
dad has
Babe,
room for us in his apartment.
Oh my god. Oh,
Cause tell him we're moving in.
babe.
Attention, everyone. USR is about to board our vessel for inspection. Everyone be prepared. We'll be docking shortly after.
go.
Oh my god, babe, the golden hand!
What about it?
But we weren't supposed to take it.
Well, it's with Echo.
But... Oh, you think
And
that's
why
fine?
weren't we supposed to take it? It's a train that was doomed to fail. Like, I was just taking an opportunity that was there. It's not like it was anybody's at that point. It was Space's.
Oh, babe, that's like what you say when you go into stores and you say, oh, it's just a 5-finger discount, but like, you're just taking it. You're just stealing. It's just another name for it.
And?
Well, you always... babe, I'm just...
Do you understand that taking things from larger corporations is actually a good thing?
It is?
Yes.
Why?
Sit down and let me teach you, young man.
Bub sits down.
Ooh, okay, fade to black. You got 3 minutes and 45 seconds, so that's
Hey, better come
45. So
fast.
anything you're doing with the last 3 minutes? No.
So Echo and Shade are trying to figure out, we need a distraction for when they inspect the ship to make sure that they don't discover the storage compartment that has Echo and the other units.
Mhm.
So I'm going to open up a channel with the director and Echo.
Okay.
Group chat.
Yeah.
Is the director gonna let you into his biological body?
There's no biological body.
Yes, there is. There's that whole thing in the bottom of the ship.
Director, we need a distraction for USR inspection. We can't have them find Echo in the smuggler's compartment.
What would you suggest as a distraction?
Is there anything that you can do to dampen sensors in that area of the ship?
Yes, but it will cause some damage to the hold itself, along with any biologicals within.
I would not appreciate that.
Then we
Perhaps.
cannot vent the coolant into the smuggler's bay.
Perhaps. And Echo's like, kind of picks up the cleaning bot. This is merely a docking bay for our vacuum.
Okay.
The director said, make a diplomacy check.
She can't even keep it.
Intro diplomacy?
Oh my god.
That's Zesty -3.
I have a +2 to diplomacy,
Okay.
which will be really helpful for this natural 20.
Wow! We hold it back! Damn! Ding! We need that.
Yeah, director.
Speechless. I'm absolutely speechless.
Very well, Echo. We will quickly fabricate a docking station. And then suddenly the door opens and that little droid comes in. You can see it's already printing out like a little thing, like a cover to slide over. And it has a place where you can like plug in the android or the little robot. But, you know, it's a Roomba docking station. And you slide it on top of the smuggler's compartment and you feel pretty good about it. It looks good.
Cool. This is all over whisper comms. I'm still just like getting
That
ready
takes
to take off.
that takes the entire 3 minutes.
That
You
is
guys
the most Ari plan
just
I've ever
I would
made.
barely slide it on.
I would securely leash and collar per the requests of the ship. Squeak in the cockpit.
Sure.
Spice
So-
is going to get ready to welcome whoever's about to board our ship.
Okay. So you can see this shuttle approach. It is like a completely painted white shuttle. It's a relatively unusual design. You haven't seen something quite like this before, Shade. And it seems to have some similar construction qualities to the superstructure of Prime Station itself. But it docks with you. This is PLE TA4. It's a shuttle. And it belongs to the Prime Law Enforcement Agency. And the docking bay beeps requesting to be opened. Do you open it?
Yes.
It slides open and you see 3 figures all clad in white uniforms, skin-tight white second skin that is overlaid with shifting hexagons of hard light. And you can see as 2 of them like turn and look around and they would almost bump hips, the hard light just to their hips and kind of like clatters off. And you can see it seems to be almost like a kinetic dampening field that moves to where it's needed. but it is a Lashunta and Asimir, which many of you may not have seen, but have certainly heard of. This individual, very angelic looking, almost crystalline looking skin that seems to glow from within. And then you see a Strix, which I think you saw one of at the Kitty de Corral and Casino, but it is a humanoid, kind of harpy looking figure. Male. Harpy. So like he has big feathery wings, kind of like this hooked beak-like nose, but all of them wearing the white uniforms of the PLEA. And the Lashunta steps forwards, nods to you, and just says, "Who can I speak to regarding the shipping manifest here?"
You can speak to Spicy Meadow. Nice to meet you.
This will only take a minute. Can I see your
Sure.
manifest?
I have the manifest.
That would be with Shade, our pilot.
Okay.
Right this way, sir.
I am Shade, captain of Mosaic Team 5. Spice is our diplomatic officer.
Welcome
Make a
aboard.
diplomacy check. Take a -2 conditional modifier.
Can I take a diplomacy
Do I really
check?
get a -2? I already got
Yeah,
my
but yours is
minus
bad.
12 or whatever. Fuck. God damn it. Easy come, easy go. 0.
No!
I've never seen that.
I know, oh my god.
He looks at you and he just says, "I don't know what this is all about.
He just drives this ship.
There's no need to lie about this.
We're here.
I'm talking to the captain." He turns to you and just says, "Can we review the cargo manifest, please?
Of
Be on
course.
our way."
She like grabs it out of Shade's hand
It's a digital
or
file.
whatever out of your fucking bot, whatever. She's like, "Sure, Shade, show him."
And you can see the other two are beginning to just kind of like wander, and they're like looking, not like going into anything, but they're definitely like looking into each door. And then one of them like rounds the corner and like
Before
towards the cargo bay, and there's just like 30 people
I
in
know
there.
Spice is going to address that. She goes, "Have you heard about the Tony Express? We just rescued all of these passengers from the Tony Express, so we would like to get them to Prime Station safely."
He looks at you and then says, "This must be a mistake then. I'm so
Why?
sorry about that. We've heard about the Tony Express, and the USR is actually looking to speak with all of you. We'll get you docked right away. Just let us clear this up really quick."
Sure.
He turns and says, "Homestead, can you just scan the floors, please? I'm sure it's fine, but we've had outbreaks of Cyberceps cordyceps, and we just want to make sure that they're not infecting our systems."
Cyberceps, you say? They're
Yes.
a bitch, aren't they?
Yes, you haven't had any problems with them. We would have to restrict you from docking.
No. Can I make a bluff check?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Echo like
New
tries to slow
dice.
down their breathing and just like be really even and calm about things. Turns down all the brightness.
Thank
on
you,
the
Luke, for the
RGB.
new dice.
Behind Echo, you just hear as the fans turn on, and like, yeah, absolutely.
39.
39.
39.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
No problems there.
Yeah, so, they all kind of say that. He looks at you and he just goes, "Well, good. We don't want any of these infected ships boarding because it can spread from ship to ship like lightning."
It's awful, isn't it? I
It
hate
really
it when
is.
I've heard. It's like lice.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Good.
Lice is pretty uncommon now.
Bubs is probably watching this happen, and he's worried about the scan. So he's just going to just go into the large group of people, and he's going to remember that he does have the prize that he didn't give out. He gave out like the tickets for the show.
Yeah.
And he's going to go, oh my God, guys, we're at Prime Station, but before we go, like, I got the winning prize for everyone. Does everyone have their tickets?
All of a sudden, everybody, you just hear, yeah. And like all these voices, tickets come out. You can see people who have like, a few people have 3 tickets. Like some people maybe like threw theirs away and other people picked them up. This is like McDonald's Monopoly, basically.
Bub's just like trying to do this like very inefficiently too. to like kind of create like a stampede or something.
So go ahead and inform me if you wouldn't mind.
Why?
We're gonna call this.
He's just trying to create confusion.
We're gonna call this.
Like a performance? Is there a performance?
There is no performance. I would say make a diplomacy check.
Okay.
And take a +2 conditional modifier, as you do have these tickets in hand.
And he's gonna like try to like just like kind of just like, oh, well, you go. I mean, Bubs is really good at like being bad at speaking with people in terms of like organization and stuff
Well
like that.
established, yeah.
So I feel like he's not even. Oh, that's a 17 plus.
+2 is 19.
No, I have a good. What'd you say? Diplomacy.
Yeah.
17 plus 6 is 23. Plus 2 is 25.
Great. So you're just like, everybody line up, and everybody like gets in line.
Oh
and,
wait,
like,
no, different kind of line. Like,
the
I want-
USR guy tries to come in and he's like trying to look at you. He's trying to wave his hand to you. And then you go, no, different kind of line. I mean a line that's like a big group. And so everybody kind of like is like, okay.
Well,
like,
who has the winner? We gotta find out who has the winner. There's only one prize, everyone. So calm down. It is a great limited
and then
edition
people
prize.
begin to like shove each other. And then you can see the USR guy just looks around and just is like, fuck it. And just like turns and leaves. But doesn't go into the cargo bay. You can see the other one. This is the Strix. The wings folded up. It begins to head in the direction of the smuggler's compartment, towards the weapons.
Are they
systems.
scanning or something?
Yeah, they have hand scanners and they're doing like these passive scans. They're not in any way, like right now, they're ticking boxes. Especially after whatever it was that Spice said. That seems to have very much satisfied their curiosity.
Okay. I guess I would just keep an eye on them, and if it looked like they were gonna scan something, I would wireless hack their scanners to try and disrupt that.
Luckily, it does not see. You even see at one point this Lashunta, who is like talking at the start. He's still like talking and kind of just being like, "Yeah, no, we heard that you guys really helped out a lot of these people from Tony Express. USR sent a few folks to talk to you. I think you guys are probably going to want to stick around when you land."
Yes.
And he's just sitting there, beep, beep, like looking at you and just scanning things. And this is just him like
checking off the boxes.
probably like on his form. It's like
How
minimum
many
5
things,
number scans. You know,
How many
like
things did you scan?
exactly. So just checking it off, and the process goes without issue. Bubs, what is the prize that you're giving away?
Oh, this hurts me so bad. Bubs is gonna take. Wow, how are my plants doing?
Interesting that you should ask. So you go over to the garden. There is poop. A lot of it. Like at least 4 or 5 people's worth.
No!
Just all across the plants.
No!
Why? What? How?
Someone was in the fucking bathroom for 20 minutes having a fucking dance off.
And so probably that old man went and found the only thing that he could really, that's not metal, which is soil, used it, and probably in this room with 32 other people, somebody saw him and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he probably went, "It's the bathroom." And so there's a drunk goblin, there is a drunk human.
I love that garden.
The garden's not doing well. It's a shitty garden.
Fertilized.
It's all right. No, it's fertilized. I can save this.
Sure.
I can save this.
Sure.
What do you have on your person you can give these people?
That's what I was. Oh God, I can't give them shit flowers.
You can give them your hammer. You can give them your Dothko.
Suddenly, pushing his way to the front of the crowd, you see an individual that you haven't really seen since the beginning. They made their way on at some point. Maybe you saw them then, but Bubbles, you had to give them candy previously because you had kind of messed up their term with the vending machine. And they kind of shoved their way to the front, and they just go, "Hey, what's going on, guy? You said you had a prize." He just licks his lollipop, and like it's just a stick now.
Okay, everyone, calm down. There is a prize, okay, and
Do you want me to come into the room?
yeah, of course.
Okay, so Spice is going to. I feel like as she's like touring around these USR people, she's going to peek into the room and hear Bubbles absolutely struggling to manage this crowd, and she's gonna go, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I need to tend to one of my team workers."
Okay. He's like, "Oh, of course."
And so she's gonna go into the room, and she's going to strum her guitar really loud with her Daft Punk outfit
You can
still
see
on.
The two USR guys, they're just like, oh yeah, so I was going to Patty's party tonight, and then all of a sudden, it immediately gets their attention back. Yeah.
Hello, everybody, we're back.
You hear just the goblin? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course we're back.
You guys get a special performance of Draft Punk Round 2. And she starts playing.
Okay, go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Don't mind if I do. Oh, gonna nail this one so
You guys are
hard.
using all of your good rolls for distracting some guards.
I rolled a
even though
0.
They're yeah. The only reason that you guys need to distract the guards is because of that.
I did promise people a prize, so
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
fulfilling
yeah.
my end of the bargain.
31 plus 9 is 40.
So with the
I rolled a
40,
40.
you begin to just rock out. You begin to jam, and then the director seems to almost catch on to your tune, and the lights begin to blink different colors. And before too long, the two USR guys are just like they're not USR soldiers. They're PLEA officers, but they are like watching the show and taking it in, and the Strix comes back and just kind of like bumps into them and just goes, yeah, there's nothing on here, we can get going. And the two guys just kind of turn and go, all right, I got word you will be landing in Aft Bay 4, Hangar 11, Spot C. He turns and just kind of watches this like performance for another second, and then the Strix is just like, come on, we gotta go, and just goes, yeah, we have to go. Can you tell the captain thank you for helping these people?
As I said before, I am the captain. I gotta say it.
Make a, you know what? He's definitely not gonna believe it after your original check. He just kind of smiles and goes, and he walks off,
buddy.
and you can see
Wouldn't it say in the manifest?
the Strix goes over to you and just goes,
Now I do.
we're all trying to get better, don't worry. And he just kind of on the back and just kind of walks by. The wings brush you as he goes. But they get onto their ship, and the docking thing closes, and they take off and head back towards Prime Station. And sure enough, you can see that you've been cleared to land in Aft Bay 4, Hangar 11, Spot C.
Thank you for riding with us,
I'm
everybody.
going
Have
back
a
to the
good
cockpit and
night.
I'm landing this fucking thing.
You're all winners.
Everybody's the winner aboard the director.
People
Woo!
are cheering and yelling, and this performance just like very successful. And you know what, Bubbles? They won a prize, all of them in their mind. And this is definitely, I mean, for what it's worth, there are videos being taken, and you would imagine that this is absolutely going to make the rounds on the infosphere. But
Babe, you have such good moves, and you're, oh my god, the way you played, and you
I'm
like,
good at this
Shade-
guitar.
as you get close to the Aft Bay 4, a tiny, and when I say tiny, like maybe the size of a smart car, little tugboat, and you can see there's no space for a human being. This is like an autonomous little thing, comes out from Prime Station and gently just docks into the front and slowly begins to guide your ship using a gravity tether. And you can tell this is so light that you could easily break away just by like tapping the brake. It would break the tether. But just to guide you into a parking space is this. Are you allowing it to pull you in?
Yeah, for now. Does it seem like something that could strengthen the tether if it needed to keep us locked in place? Or is it literally just like tying the boat to the dock?
Literally like tying the boat to the dock. This is an autonomous tugboat.
Okay, yeah. Then I would let it happen because, like, I'm not going to buck protocol, but, you know.
Rob? It pulls you
I don't
in.
want to be able to. I do want to be able to make a swift escape.
You slide through the oxygen field and into one of the docking bays. In this bay, which is expansive and huge, there are concrete platforms, each of which has a hangar that has space for roughly 4 ships about a size larger than yours in each one. Across from your ship, you can see there is a mustard yellow ship with 6 or 7 hardpoints for weapons. Actually, it looks like it was probably a fighter or a bomber at one point. But the only thing visible on the exterior at the moment is a magnetic decal that says Professor Yummy's Pet Supplies. You also see that there is a ship, or that is the only ship, sorry. There is a door behind that ship, smaller, and then there is one much larger door that is open to a huge corridor, and that seems to be the way to Prime Station Beyond. You can see as you land, coming from that corridor, there is a number of individuals. You see a human being with a gigantic nose and a thick waxed mustache. If you think like Nigel from the Wild Thornberries, that's very much what his face kind of looks like. Yeah. He has a wicked scar on his chin. It nearly runs all the way to the ear. He has a USR uniform on, but he does wear a white sash that reads USR Diplomatic Party. With them, there is another human being and another pair of humans behind him. They seem to be this USR welcoming party that had been promised. But with no issue, you land, and you are all at Prime Station. Give me just 1 second here.
Thank you. We have saved passengers aboard. Please, if we could get health officials to take care of them. They've seen some devastation.
So you broadcast this across the ship's exterior speakers, and you see the guy just kind of wince a little bit, but he nods and like waves. Are you lowering the ramp?
Not yet.
Okay.
Before anyone gets off, is there a way that we could track the people? Because there's someone who's probably an accomplice to 899 on the ship.
How would you like to do that?
Assuming everyone has some sort of comm, right? I would try to implant Ghost on them all.
No.
9 hours later, you allow them off the ship.
Can the director add like some sort of tracking system, like just a tracking data point or something?
Do we have Sep's body, like husks of Sep's left over that...
You didn't. Very pointedly, you guys spaced those. You...
Like, is there a way to basically just implant an innocuous line of code that can be traced on all of these via the director's program?
If you're asking the director that, the director would say, with approximately 36 hours of lead time, I may be able to do that.
We don't have that time.
Choose the top 3 that you think are it.
Who are the most suspicious ones, I guess?
Make a sense motive check. People are beginning to gather by the docking bay now, and you can see they're all ready to get down the ramp. People have blankets on and all that kind of stuff. A lot of Tony Express blankets.
That's a 12, and the DC is -2 because of androids.
Okay. Because of androids. So you look around at the group and you can see they all look a little frustrated, like they're gathering. You can see the old man kind of turns to somebody, one of the Shiren, and just goes, "The bathrooms here aren't very comfortable." And like they're just kind of like chatting and getting ready to go.
It was a rescue ship. Relax.
It's hard to tell. None of them look suspicious. The goblin is the one that Bubbles had mentioned had something.
Yeah, so actually it's probably not the goblin. I guess I wouldn't be able to follow this lead, so just have to track them with like standard optical shits and
eyes,
and like maybe do the camera above us or something.
In this free time, after Spice saves my butt, I'm going to try to clean the butt off of my plants.
Okay.
Clean the butt.
So, what you notice almost instantly, some of these plants seem to have incredibly delicate green stems. The weight of the waste that was placed upon them has snapped many of them.
I'm gonna murder this guy.
Make a...
You're the one who made him shit his pants.
Make a life sciences check.
Bathrooms are not for dancing in.
18!
18, okay. You pull away much of the fecal matter. You take a lot of the waste out. It smells like piss as well. This was used by at least 6 people as a restroom.
What?
The ammonia is gonna fuck your plants up.
You were able to save
not all alien
one
species.
small section of plants.
How many is that?
5. And they're all the same kind of plant.
Oh!
The corn!
No, we don't know if we have corn. We only know
No, it's like growing in something. This is relatively damp, the soil here. And so whatever it is, it requires damp soil.
Okay.
Very dark, like tiny little shoots, almost like grass. And that's really what kept it from being crushed. Like it could distribute the weight a little bit more. And
the
some of
rice,
it
is
did
it?
die. It seems like it's probably rice, yeah.
Poop rice.
It will certainly have nutrients. But
Right.
you're going to need to start some of these beds again.
Okay, start again. I'm just gonna real quick just drop some seeds, germinate it, new flowers, and set up the lights. For it.
On Discord, roll those D100s for me.
I hate this old man so much.
I gave you guys so many chances. So, and then both Kara and Matt saw me roll for it too.
And write stuff down.
Yeah. I wrote, the garden is now a bathroom.
We were writing stuff down
What
too.
monsters?
So, are you lowering the ramp?
I would announce that I'm lowering the ramp, and I would be like, please stand by for USR rendezvous.
Okay, no problem. So you lower the ramp and say that people are kind of like smiling and laughing. Spice, for what it's worth, for you and Bubbles, a lot of people when they're leaving are like, "Hey, thanks for the show." Like people are like, yeah, people are like shaking your hands. There's a
Come
few
to our
people.
next show.
There's a few people that
Next
definitely ask, like, "Can I do a selfie?" And like, are you letting these people take pictures with you?
Yes.
Yeah, but Bubs is eyeing all of them to see which one probably shit in my fucking garden.
Okay.
Spice is like,
Make a sense motive check. Yeah, so you're like doing
oh,
this.
then like tag me on Instagram, Spicy me to, or whatever.
Infosphere.
After
Infosphere,
the
Spicy
announcement, I would probably go
Plus-
to the hangar and, kind of monitor everyone leaving, make sure that no one's doing anything suspicious. Like taking photos of the interior of the director.
You look and you're looking for people that look suspicious. You see Bubbles. He's just glowering at everybody. He's mad at the world right now for some reason. You can see Spice, polar opposite, like hamming it up, smiling. Oh, we're doing it with bunny ears now.
Everybody get in here!
Yeah, like the
Group
old person
photo.
gets
We had
in.
such a good time on the director, huh? Your savior, don't forget.
Yeah, and so people just like, laughing, having a great time. You can see the USR people very like patiently waiting for them to all leave, clearly waiting to talk to all of you. But before too long, as you watch the group disperse, nobody seems to. People definitely take pictures. You could see like people stop and they take pictures of the director and of all of you guys. And there's a lot of people who do it as like a selfie. This is like a memory. I mean, they survived. First of all, some of these people in the duration of 36 hours survived snakes on a train and then an android raiding the train and blowing it up. So like this was probably the craziest thing that will ever happen to them. So a lot of people taking pictures, but nobody who looks super suspicious.
Okay.
Mosaic Team 5 saved you. Goodbye. Have a nice
The
evening.
last of these folks clear out, and you can see the group of USR individuals.
Does our Shore Point friend stay, Max?
No, Max is going to go with the group.
But I got his contact information. We exchanged numbers, right?
You can see the individual with the large, almost beak-like nose comes up and says, "Yeah." What?
Michael says,
We got a wheel.
Oh, man. Welcome to Prime Station. I'm Lieutenant Commander Wesley Doyle, but Wesley's fine, or Commander Wesley if you feel the need to stand on ceremony. You mind a moment of your time? Thank you. Right this way. Lieutenant Clark has prepared a place for all of you to stay at the embassy until you get settled. A few of you could ride with me, and we can talk on the way, or we could drop you off and give you some time to prepare. What would you prefer? Come on.
I would like to go to the embassy.
Okay. Then right this way. And you can see he like turns on his heel. The other two follow him lockstep, and they walk down this main corridor. Are you all following?
Yes.
Echo pings Shade.
Okay.
Is it clear yet?
Once we're off the ship,
Too.
I'll say, ship is empty. We're
shit.
rendezvousing with USR at embassy, and then I would send the coordinates to the embassy.
Okay.
Well, I guess once we get there, I would send them.
Yeah,
but,
no problem. We'll get to that.
yeah.
So are you just making your way off the ship? What are you doing?
Well, Echo doesn't know where to go now because
Okay.
the ship is just empty. So Echo just like pops out and it's like, "Hello,
Okay.
hello."
You're in an empty hangar. You can hear the sound of people in the corridor off to the side, and so you're not like in a distant, like isolated place, but you're relatively alone.
Echo like timidly like peeks their head out of the hangar, just be like, "Hello."
So you peek out of the hangar. You can actually see like off. So out of the hangar, as you guys all make your way out, and this is what you see right now as they're getting in, you emerge into a corridor that links further into the station. And there is like a street almost outside. 4-lane street that is set about 15 feet above walkways that themselves are maybe like 60 feet across. So it's almost like an elevated train that runs across for all these cars. And you do see cars. Parked on the walkway right now, you can see there are 3 vehicles. 2 what look almost like blocky, almost like SUVs. And then you can see another one is a black Prime Station convertible that has 4 seats parked between these 2 utility vehicles. The individual who kind of led you over here, and you can see also hanging above these, there is a sign that says AP10. He says, so do you guys, sorry, you threw me off so bad with your, well.
Can you get music going too?
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
It is good. It just has a.
Oh, hell. Well, Kara did get a wheel.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec.
So did Shade. But that was a while ago.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, why don't I see one?
So
Oh, there. Yeah. I thought it said
he
wait.
turns to all of you and then just says, so are any of you going to ride with me, or do you all want to go in one car and you guys can go to the embassy? We'll give you some time to freshen up.
Which one is the sexier car?
I mean, the convertible.
I'll go with the
naturally
guy. I
spiced.
don't need to freshen up. So,
So the 2 of you and the guy in the convertible, there's 1 more seat. Are you going as well?
Spice grabs the keys to the convertible.
Can't grab the keys. He is
he's
driving it.
escorting us.
He's not giving you guys cars.
Yeah, we're
okay.
just sitting and following.
You can actually see there are 2 drivers in each of these SUVs, and the individual talking to you is holding a set of keys, likely to the convertible.
How
Yes.
far away are they?
Maybe 50 feet.
Oh, so like if I were to like walk down and be like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah.
Okay. Echo just kind of walks down. I have finished checks.
Okay.
Thank
you can
you,
see
Echo.
they turn.
This is one of our crewmates, Echo.
Ah,
We have a pet aboard. She was finishing taking care of.
great. Do you need to all travel in a different car? Then I can only fit 3 of you.
I'll go with you.
Very well. And the rest of you can go with Kate, and just kind of gestures to the back car. He gets in the car. The door pops open. Shade, you get in. The rest of you getting in one of these SUVs?
I'm getting in the convertible.
Okay.
I'll go with Spice.
Okay. So only you, Echo. You are left alone with this driver in a van. No problem. That won't be bad.
This is fine.
Kidnapped voluntarily.
Keeping a whispercom active.
You depart this
between-
hangar and you
me
whiz
and
by
Echo.
a few more. You see, you were in hangar 11. You go by hangar 12, 13, 14, and 15 along this stretch before you turn and whiz along the central transit deck number 3. And you enter through this like zoom, sliding doors. There is a huge room that in and of itself is almost an entire district. And Bubs, you are getting to places that you are familiar with now.
Bubs is like, you probably asked him to put the top. Does it have a top going down?
It's down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bubs is like probably like kind of like first of all, probably trying to keep Spice in her seat, because she's a standard.
Probably.
And babe, over there.
I just
over
wanna-
there.
just let me
babe,
breathe.
Babe,
Come on, I
babe,
just wanna
babe,
stick my
babe, you're not-
As the doors slide open, you're all bathed in red light. This is the red light mercantile district, not red light like what you think of as in Amsterdam. So in the aft section of Prime Station, around all the hangar bays, there are districts that are known as. Give me just 1 second here. I forget the name of the districts and I didn't highlight it for myself, but there's a number of districts, each one of which is kind of themed or mostly hued in a kind of light. And you typically see species whose visual range is kind of more tuned to that, be the primary occupant. So there are a couple of places like the Red Light Mercantile District that are much more diverse. And this is a place that as you enter, there are all kinds of things along the street that you can see. The ambient redness and lights and general decor kind of blend together, but there are small stalls, there are brilliant LED signs and projected holograms that advertise everything from faith to furniture. And in particular, you pass an EP Mart, which is very much like a 7-Eleven. It has like the green branding. It sells freezies and other things. Or not freezies, because that's a brand too. I have a name for what they sell.
Freezens.
Freezens.
Frozen.
I like
Raisins.
You pass a store that is called the Galactic Bazaar.
Ew.
You pass a store called the Cyber Dragon Enhancements. You pass an open-to-the-air noodle shack called Zet's Noodle Shack. There is Granny Smith's Antiques, Admiral Stabby's, Move Tube, U-Lubes, and more, all kinds of stores before you're going so quickly that you almost can't even see. And then you right through another set of doors and you are going along a long road that is just covered in a glass dome. And you can just see space and like the different districts of the station all laid out around you. And directly in front of you, the towering council tower. This is a huge gleaming glass and chrome structure that rises up and up and up and up. And Bubs, you know that this is where all the embassies are. This is where the actual Galactic Council is. There are different things that are based out of here.
As this is happening, I'm explaining to Spice, and also probably in the group chat, just being like,
Okay.
and this is the, oh, babe, oh my god, this
I'm
place.
hearing the echoes of it in the group chat and fucking Bubs behind me.
I'm probably screaming because it's like we're in a car.
Oh, yeah.
And I also have to keep my voice above Spice.
Yeah.
I'm probably
Echo
just
means
sitting in the
group
front. I'm probably sitting in the front seat, just like
Echo's been to Prime Station
looking
before,
at this
right?
guy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And so you can see on the glass barrier that separates you from the void outside, little advertisements just pop up as you go. You can see Quantalk communicators, now in red, purple, blue, and clear. You see Breathe Fresh, Be Free. And Fresh is actually a air scrubber that is very quiet and works pretty well. And you see another advertisement that says, A brave new you every time. Fashion tape. And it's this woman who has like all different kinds of tape that have been that seem to like fuse together after they're made to like make actual garments. All kinds of like crazy products that just like streak along the side. And then finally, after like a good 10 minutes of traveling, you pull your car into a large platform that is probably enough for all three vehicles and maybe even more. And the platform begins to rise up. And this brings you into an elevator, clear like this corridor, that brings you all along the tower. And the tower just whizzes by. You see windows and windows of like offices. You can see storage rooms. You can see a bathroom. All different kinds of things just whiz by. And then, ding, right in the middle levels, this lift stops. And it opens up and you can see this is where the individuals begin to like get out of the vehicles and stuff like that. He keeps the keys in the car and gets out, and the Strix gets in the driver's seat. Are you getting out of the SUV? Okay. You guys all getting out of the convertible? Yeah. Excellent. You can see as the doors open up, there is a huge corridor with like a million signs. And these are to all the various embassies. You see the United Solari Republic, and this is where they begin to walk along these lit navy flashing lights that are lining the floors. But you also see the Castrovellian Council, you see the Barrier Hive Collective, the Unaffiliated Republic of Pluto, you see the Ferentis 4 Diplomacy. Bubs, you know that there is roughly 36 embassies located within the Council Tower, and all of them represented here.
Bub is explaining this as he goes along.
Yeah.
And also, he's just real quick. He's gonna just start the search for a restaurant near the dance place.
Okay.
The embassy, right?
Yeah, what?
I know he can do both.
I would say it's kind of hard to be like explaining things and also searching for things.
Yeah. No, he just
Do you remember upstairs you had to text and you couldn't talk and text at the same time? So
Shane can do that.
you walk explaining all these things, telling different people, and you can see there are various different militaries here. All the people here have these little diplomatic party sashes. And in fact, as you're walking, the individual says, oh, right, you're here under USR protection. And so he takes five of these sashes, Assumedly, Gibbs is like in that third SUV and kind of quietly following along, and gives each of you a sash that says USR Diplomatic Party. While you're aboard Prime Station, you should wear this at all times. This affords you a certain number of rights and privileges, and it should keep you safe in certain parts of the station. I wouldn't go to the Husk or anything like that. He pulls up outside the USR Embassy, which is a well-lit series of offices with white walls, navy ceilings, and then gold light fixtures that each look like a famous USR ship kind of glowing from within. You pass by the USR Bridgewater, the USR Asnantuck, the USR Stores, and the USR June Carter, before finally you make it past a media room that looks like it's set up for a press conference, and you enter an open door to a large, comfortable room with a long central conference table made from some sort of fake wood. Around it, about a dozen leather swivel chairs, which are all quite comfortable looking, and there's a little water and glasses on the table. This individual walks over to the head of the table. None of the other people enter, just Mosaic Team 5
And
and this individual, and he gestures for all of you to sit.
Spice is going to sit. I assume he's sitting at one end of the long table.
Yeah.
Spice is going to sit at the other end of the long table.
Okay. There is 8, so there's 4 chairs on either side, and then 1 chair either way. It's like an 18-foot long table.
Yeah, she's going to sit and just.
No worries.
I'll go sit
so,
at the
for
one
reference,
that's next to him.
This is the officer. You would be all the way at the wall.
It's
Yep.
like a Vladimir Putin
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Very much.
I'm gonna go to the seat that's like he's sitting there. I'll sit here so that we're like.
I'll
this.
sit next to Shade as first mate.
Okay. As
Not
first mate. As first mate, I take the seat.
Mhm.
Give me
Vice
1
captain.
second here.
It's different.
All right.
You're not first mate. You're not first mate.
Didn't you say he was first mate?
No, I never said
he said
first
first
mate. No, it was not
I
first
feel like you
mate.
did.
No, it was not
Yes,
first
you
mate.
did.
It was a
He
different
said
title.
you have to be ready to be in charge was all he said. And I think Bubbles interpreted that as first mate. Or co-captain maybe. But either way.
I said acting captain in the event of my incapacitation.
Doyle sits down at the head of the table. As all of you sit down, he says, all right, so let's talk about 899.
Yeah, let's
What
talk.
is it that happened? What did you all see? What was taken?
Well, from my understanding,
Did you know about the
899.
bounty? You've seen the
Of course
bounty
they know
page.
about the
It would be helpful if just one of you spoke at once.
I will speak.
I can also speak.
I
I'm
will speak.
noticing this quite vividly.
What do you
899.
want to say? I'm gonna let him speak.
Shade takes a second. Cool. 899 landed on the rooftop of Tony Express's train, planting some sort of EMP, which set off throughout the entire ship. Then 899 was able to make it their way up to the front of the ship, causing a secondary explosion which released the engineer, a fire elemental, out into the atmosphere, rendering the ship no longer functioning. Afterwards, they caused another explosion at the rear of the ship, which evacuated all of the shorepoint security and USR members that were waiting in the back, presumably and ostensibly guarding the statue going to the Katydid Corral. However, it was the prototype fighter ship with a new application I had not seen before, which was 899's ultimate objective.
We're aware of the ship. We figured that would be a target. It's a shame about those soldiers. But were you able to track the ship in any way? Do you know where they were going? Is there any information that you could give us to try to get this ship back?
There isn't really, right? I'm trying to think if there was anything that I got.
Well, isn't Cuttlefish a Maldross thing?
No.
No.
That was
Second
the
episode.
thing that was taken by...
It was from Jacinto by
XXX
Bill Black.
Black.
Taco Exploit.
Does
Yeah,
he know
Taco
about the
XXX.
Cuttlefish? Whatever.
He knows about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he just said he knows about the prototype.
He was with the prototype. Yeah.
Okay, well. Spice is going to reiterate it unnecessarily then.
Okay, so just using slightly different words, you
Yeah.
can tell the whole story. And he kind of nods and says, "That doesn't answer my question at all."
One of the Shore Point mercenaries, security officers,
Contractors, they prefer.
Max was able to survive the explosion. They probably don't know much more than we do, but I was incapacitated when 899 left with the ship. They might know more.
That's a good lead to follow up on. We'll find this Max. Is there any way that this 899... You said that they set off an EMP?
Yes.
That doesn't really make any sense.
Do you know about... And she explains how the EMP is connected to Kinsey, the 2 coins.
Do you guys still have the coins?
Yeah.
You showing
We
me
have the
coins?
one. I have
Yeah.
the one that I had been looking at, right?
I gave it to Spice, and whatever
Yeah, Spice will-
did it with it.
Flick it out of her pocket onto the table.
Okay. You can watch as he makes a physical sciences check. Actually, technically that'd be an engineering check, which is better, but not much.
I could explain it to him though from my previous check. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No worries. So if you do that,
Yeah.
he
I would
nods and
explain,
just says,
We
fascinating.
suspect there may have been an accomplice on the train. However,
Unknowing accomplice. Seeing he was pretty drunk.
not the goblin, the person who
Oh,
placed
you're saying about
piece
somebody.
in the
Oh, never mind.
goblin.
Okay.
Who was drunk?
This
Okay.
piece of the EMP was found on the possession of a drunken goblin.
You know,
passenger.
Kinsey. My God.
Don't know any Kinsey, but if it was found on a drunk goblin, it's easy to slip things into drunk people's pockets. That does make sense. There would need to be a second person, though, for this to work, from what you're saying.
Yes,
Or
however,
a second point.
I was unable to find anyone of suspicion.
You can see he pulls up his communicator, taps in a couple things, and there's like a beep, and he says, "I've just alerted the Ginsburg to be on the lookout. When they finish dealing with the pirates, they're going to board the ship and look for any kind of clues as to what happened to 899. They'll pull the data feeds, they'll pull the records, and we'll see what we can come up with."
What? Okay.
Echo would like to make some kind of sense motive check
Sure.
when he mentions the pirates.
Yeah, make exactly that. Make a sense motive check.
Kraken dice rolling well today. Dirt at 30.
That, you catch just a hint of disgust. Not a huge fan of pirates as this individual. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Echo wasn't entirely convinced that it was pirates incoming, and just Echo's conspiracy meter is real high.
He seems to believe fully that it's pirates. Whether it is or not, you don't
Right.
know.
He's not in on the conspiracy.
Correct. If there's a conspiracy, he is on the outside.
It's the higher levels of USR.
Echo puts the thread
Brass.
on another part of the map.
There you go. So he looks at all of you and he says, "You're all bounty hunters. And so you're probably after 899's bounty. And so
Correct.
maybe
You
we can
betcha.
work together here a little bit. I'm going to give you the intel that we have. But I need a guarantee. If you hear from 899, if you see them, if you even get an idea as to where they are, we need to know. We need to move quick and we need to recover what they've taken."
Spice is going to unchilly just look at Echo.
He
You
says,
don't know anything.
I don't.
I'm just gonna look around, also just wildly.
last year in November, there was a prison manifesto stolen from the Palsetta 4. It's a prison transport. There was a number of people killed. The prisoners were all killed as well. We don't know, aside from the prison manifesto, if any other data got taken, but that was the only thing we could find. That was the first time that we think that 899 unit stole anything. A couple months later, they targeted Jacinto for the first time. And this is when we got involved. They stole a whole bunch of Jacinto beacons, blank transponders, from Jacinto's CRA 122.
CRA 122.
Yeah. They swapped it out with a defective one that was bought off of a third-party merchant, And so whoever this Echo unit is, or whoever they're working for, knows enough about technology to be able to fake inventory out. There may be more things that have been stolen that we're not familiar with. The next...
I'm just going to interrupt him real quick.
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the prison transport?
The Palsetta 4.
Bubs is just going to quickly just info spear that.
Okay, yeah, make a cultures check.
Also, could you just tell me how to spell that?
Yeah. P-E-L-S-E-T-T-A, and then the number 4.
Okay, I'll get that. That was a 12 plus, you say diplomacy or culture?
Cultures.
12 plus 7 is 19.
With a 19, as you begin to look, and you look up Palsetta 4 news, there is actually news that the Palsetta 4 prison transport was robbed. 2 guards were killed. All 11 prisoners were found dead of thirst, actually. And they were actually located, interestingly, 12/25/49. So almost a month after is this article dated.
Okay. And who does that, can I just specifically look up who owns the Palsetta prison transport? It's probably a government because it's a prison.
It's the USR.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure.
No worries.
Getting that trend here.
And then he says, and so there is a bit of a trend that is beginning to emerge. And the next thing that they stole was from a shuttle called the Homeward 5. At first, we thought it was just the payroll because that was missing. But we did notice later that there were a number of supplies missing from the linens as well. In particular, guard and prison uniforms. After that, they knocked over the USR O'Neill, a transporter ship. And they were able to take out 2 squads of USR soldiers in the process. After that, you probably heard about Shore Point and Jacinto. We're not sure what they're planning, but maybe a prison break?
From the prison logs, which they stole, were there any people on that of interest or note?
That's the really interesting thing. There is no androids listed on that. There is no... I mean, there are criminals, but this is white collar. I mean, we're talking fraud, tax evasion... I don't know.
Could there be some personal grudge towards someone?
Perhaps, but if so, we weren't able to draw it.
Echo pings the whispercom. Ask about corporate espionage.
Could it be a case of corporate espionage?
That is something that we've thought of as well, and Jacinto's really pushed us to try to investigate that, but it would be hard to think about who would be dumb enough to take on the largest corporation in the galaxy. Still, it's something that we're looking into. There is no affiliation that this unit seems to have to any corporation, at least that we can uncover. So if you know of anything, please tell us.
I'm unaware of any affiliations that 899 may have had.
Well,
it seems beyond the person, the potential accomplice on the train. They were acting alone.
Maybe. But in just a few days, we do have a USR transport that will be taking prisoners from Prime Station. We do worry that that may be a target as well. And so we are on a timetable. We have 7 days until we take off. We could delay again, but we've already delayed by a week. And keeping prisoners in one place that is not secure is not preferable, especially not with all the trouble the station's been having.
What makes the prison transport a potential target?
The prison dossier that was stolen details many of the prisoners here. It will be a ship called the USR Tango that will be taking them.
So potential target could
Potentially.
be on this.
Bob is going to share the information about the prison ship that he found online. I think that's it, actually, yeah.
Okay, no worries, you share that. He turns and he says, so that's what we know. And if you come across anything, please try to share it. We're trying to track this person down, and we can go above and beyond the reward that's offered. We also could use some help if you're planning on staying for 50 days.
We're not planning on staying necessarily for 50 days, but wanted to allow some time in case we were waylaid.
Well, we're having trouble just now, and the PLEA is spread really thin. They would definitely use the help. There's something of a serial killer going through the Hollow Husk.
A serial killer?
Yeah. They're calling him... Give me 1 second here. Make sure I get this correct for you. Apologies, just 1 second here. I don't remember what it's called. He has a cool name. We'll get back to it in just a second. But he says, we've heard a lot from some of the riffraff that frequents the Husk. The Husk heads, the cultists that spend time at the benailed altar of Zon Kuthan. Even the relic runners have talked a little bit about some kind of a creature that is lurking through. Part beast, part human.
Have there been any remains of the victims?
Blood and DNA. A little bit of hair.
Any indication of potential weapons used?
That's the thing. No discharge, no shell casings, no plasma residue, nothing. There isn't even anything detectable to magic. So this is... When they say it's a creature, usually it's drugs, something like that. But this... probably a creature of some kind.
Could it potentially be
Make a sense
Emma?
motive check.
Because...
Also, just quick housekeeping. Can I have the file that you have on him?
On who?
This target.
Sorry, which target?
The one in Hollow House.
Yeah, sure.
Just so when we have the
He
break.
takes it and like taps it over to you.
Yeah. When we have the break, I'll look through it and then you can get the name.
15 minus 2 DC.
Okay. Maybe. I mean,
'Cause,
you
like-
don't think of Emma as a creature necessarily.
No, but I'm thinking because she uses ice, any attacks would have melted by the time the bodies were found, so it would look like that there was nothing done other than, the water would evaporate and then it would look like claw marks or something.
Could be, but with a 12, hard to tell.
It was a 15.
15, still hard to tell.
Also,
Minus
I think
2
she was
DC.
last seen on Crowdite, correct?
And she was last seen in the
She was
Hollow
last
Husk.
seen here in the
Oh,
Hollow Husk.
okay, that's the
Steele
one.
said that person that looked just like you and sent you a picture of him.
No,
That's why
the one
that's why I was
That's
thinking
the one
that.
thing I'm confused about is that thing. Yeah.
We will look into this if we have the time.
If you were able to help us with this, we can offer you a pretty substantial reward. You probably have a little something coming for already, just from helping out all these individuals. We're going to get in touch with your Mosaic corporate. Actually, I believe your supervisor arrived about an hour ago. Peoples? Peep, yeah. He should be along and waiting for you in suites 7, 8, and 9 down the hall. Anytime that you all want, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, you're welcome to make your way to your rooms.
It would be good to rest for a moment.
Of course. He kind of pushes the chair back and stands up.
So our rooms are in the embassy, correct?
Correct. And so these are, in theory, temporary accommodations, but
You sure not 50 days?
I mean, we got approval.
temporary.
We have approval. He opens this side door, and into the actual embassy proper, you can see there are a number of suites. 7, 8, and 9 are located 2 on one side and 1 between them, so you guys are all right in the same exact section. There's no separating people off into different hallways or floors.
I am very interested in trying some local delicacies. Can you suggest a good place nearby? I have had a lot of synthesizer food as of late.
He smiles and kind of nods and says, "What kind of food do you want?"
Unusual things are my interest.
Well, if you're interested in... Second here. The basement, please.
Bubs is particularly interested in a
No.
place that might have vanilla or strawberry ice cream only.
Ew.
Here.
They stole my idea.
And next to a laundromat? How could that?
Yeah, I'm not so much trouble navigating. I can just control F. Ice cream. Well, I would suggest Gazaraku's Siblings Ice Cream. They have a slogan: soft serve with 120 amazing flavors and 13 bad ones. And so you'll probably find something that you like there. I mean, one of the bad ones is motor oil. I don't want to presume anything, but I didn't know androids ate.
It is more for pleasure than anything else. And Echo looks over at Shade and says, Captain, may I take my leave early?
Yes.
Again, your supervisor's here, and you may want to check in with him first.
We will check in first.
You said you have good recommendations for pool places. Where did you say what level? You said the dance competition place was.
The Alibrian Zone?
Yeah, a Liberian zone.
Yep.
Could I? Do you have any suggestions of places near the Liberian zone that maybe I want something fancy, but I don't want to make a super reservation early.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to the Alibrian Zone, that is pretty fancy.
Oh.
I mean,
Well,
next to 678 Lasersgate, you might be able to. There's a pizza place that wasn't fancy before, but try Gino's.
Is it Gino's West?
It's G-NO.
No, I got it.
Gino's.
It's actually Gino's original. Okay. Thank you. Hopefully, maybe we can find a place.
I'm sorry, I'm not making it out to the Alibrian Zone that much on my salary, so I can recommend places kind of a little bit more grounded.
Yeah, I'll take them, but only to just laugh at them because me and my baby only eat at the best of fanciest places, right, babe?
Tries to shadow walk out.
Make a diplomacy check.
But
Yeah, and Spice is going to also be like, no.
Me?
Yeah, you.
No,
that's a 9 plus 6, so 15.
all right. He just gets up, walks off in the other direction.
Where do you think you're going?
I am leaving.
To go where?
Anywhere but here.
Why are you trying to escape so bad?
I would like to try ice cream.
Okay.
What's Echo actually trying to go do?
I mean, make a sense motive
Well,
check.
contested one?
Make a bluff check. If you are trying to convince
Yeah, what do you do?
people-
I'm confused.
I mean,
Bubs,
They can-
I mean, I'm
they can
believes you.
They can sense motive me. That's
Bubs believes you.
I'm just we're still on the same plan, right? We're still dealing with the units.
I got
right?
15, so it's not gonna be that
15?
good.
I got a 9.
9. I mean, Shade, I would hope knows.
Yeah.
But it probably has something to do with the fact that the USR is going to find out that Echo is broadband broadcasting
Yeah.
to the
That's
other
what I
Echo unit
figured.
and doesn't want to be in a USR controlled embassy when they find out.
So where are you gonna go, Echo?
I would like to try ice cream.
Are you gonna take this sash off? And she pulls out your sash.
I would like to try ice cream. And Echo kind of
Alright.
does little emoji gestures up with their eyes to be
Okay.
cameras.
Okay. Spice
And
is
so
gonna lay
Echo
off.
makes their way out of the embassy. You have to make your way back to a personnel elevator towards the center, and down and down and down, several hundred levels to the bottom.
No whisper
Before you
calm.
can make your
Keep
way.
me updated.
As you get to the sort of central platform, there are all manner of these autonomous vehicles that you can just get into, and on a touchscreen, select your location. No credits needed, it just goes. And there is free public transit in this area, and it's not public transit like buses. There are kind of these autonomous vehicles that you could take for roughly 5 or 6 people. And if you want that, if you do a quick scan, that place is in a section that is known as the Silver Strip, and you can see that is located on the outer section of the space station.
Echo pings back to Shade. and says, "If there are any recommendations for actual places to hide out, I would be much appreciated." Much obliged? That's the word. And Echo says, "Until that point, I guess I am trying ice cream."
His dad's house.
I don't know where that is.
I would say like ... hollow husk.
I think
Lay low.
I think I would put a message.
Echo heads for the hollow husk.
I think I would put a message in the chat. Oh, if you guys need a place to like, chill, like low key, like you could probably go to Steele's, like, and I'll send a message. Is Steele? I'll send a message to Steele's. Hey, Steele.
So yeah, sure, you can send that message. I will say, so if you go to there is a space called the Hollow Husk Grayed Out. You can't go there, but you can go to the next closest place, which is called the Termcolsant District. It is Termcolsant District. It is like a largely residential district. There's like a little icons, like a house, and like different things that show you what's there. This seems to have like residential places, but also things like theaters, more cultural things. And then you see like a little family, and so probably like more family-oriented things as well. And then this seems to be the closest thing to the Hollow Husk in terms of stops.
Echo selects a movie theater that's like near the edge of that.
Probably
line.
also ping along the file on the serial killer that we just got.
I have it.
That's like the digital file, right? I assume that he just gave it to
Yeah, it's fine.
because we were talking. And then and I would say potentially Emma? Question mark?
No worries.
See if you can find anything.
You head off to Cinema 7 in the Termcolsant District. Your car whizzes away, and the rest of you are left in the embassy proper.
Don't worry, I'll leave the Termcolsant district soon.
I
Go
want.
find people.
Okay.
I definitely want to look at this dossier, but you have to look it up.
Oh, sorry. I can control that.
Prison.
Oh,
What was
okay,
it I was
there you
looking
go.
for? It was
The thing in Hollow Husk, that's the monster.
Oh, the serial killer's
Yeah.
name.
the Hulk of the Husk.
Ooh, I like it. Bob's just gonna message back. Yeah, the Hulk of the Husk. I mean, it could be Emma. It lines up with, the body entry wounds and no evidence, but I don't know. I don't want to think about that right now. Bob just ends the text message and he just thinks, no, refocus. And he's going to make some calls. Would Spice know if the pizza place would be fancy? Or okay, no, I'll go over fancy.
No idea.
Spice.
But what I
can't lie,
will say
Spice.
is, as you guys get to your 3 suites, inside suite number 8, you hear like a little bit of bumping around, and you can hear Peep's voice muffled a little bit. Are you all entering that suite?
Yeah.
Okay. You pop the doors open, and because it is 8:16,
Yeah.
we're going to take a quick break.
Nice.
And we'll come back to finish this session. So thank you for hanging out with us so far. We'll be back for more Starfinder in just 10 minutes. Be right back. welcome back to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. We're going to jump right back into Starfinder. Many of us now in sweatered.
Yay.
Thanks to Emily.
Adorn.
It's officially sweater weather.
It's officially sweater weather.
Take the dump.
So all of you, sans Echo, open up the door to USR Diplomatic Suite number 8. And you can see currently, he actually just like slams this case shut. You see Peep, your Snow White Isoki, who is sporting a slim cut navy blue suit, thin notch lapels, horizontally folded pocket square. He has a plain pointed collared white shirt underneath, looking very, very slick as Peep. And he slams this thing down and he just goes, "Oh, guys, you're here. Where's Echo?"
Damn, you look great.
Echo is going
thanks.
back
We have
to
an
the ship
interview.
for a moment.
What?
Echo will meet up with us shortly.
We need Echo.
Well, fetch Echo. My God.
We have an interview with TJ in like 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
Whisper comm while this is happening. Interview in 15 minutes with TJ.
And like this is right as this like
needs you.
pulls up and like the theater's right there and you were like outside of it now.
I think you get a text from an unknown number, which just says, "Get to Peep's room."
Why do I get why is it unknown?
Because it's Spice and she never responds to anything.
New message. Maybe Spice.
Yeah, maybe Spice. Could be potential spam.
Oh my God, Peep! Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long, Peep. He's like gonna go up and like hug him.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're doing this now.
How did you get us this interview with him?
Well, because you asked for it. You said, can we get an interview for TJ? And I said I would work on it, and I got one. But you guys,
What are we gonna
you guys
say? We
really
just
did a lot of
failed
good
our most
stuff.
recent bounty.
Well, yeah. I mean, that wasn't great, but I mean, I think really what we want to focus on is the fact that you guys rescued a whole bunch of people from a train that was sabotaged and attacked in the middle of space. Yes. I think that's a good thing to focus on. And do you guys get any footage or like photos or anything like that?
Oh,
I do have like the footage probably from my exocortex because it's got a recorder in it, right?
I mean, no.
all the footage from...
my recent exocortex.
Oh, yeah,
upgraded
yeah,
has,
it does.
visual
You're
and
right.
audio recording.
Yeah,
equipment.
so yeah, you can pull out stuff from
Quick
there.
housekeeping question.
Yes.
When Shade changed the recording on the ship, I remember you had
It
a
wasn't.
camera.
It was
just
yeah.
looping it.
and I switched it back.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
The only thing
okay.
that was not switched back were your scanners.
Okay, so they're gonna be stole.
all of the draft punk photos and videos.
Okay.
That's
So you
What I can
upload
bring
all
to
of
the
these
table.
pictures, and he could just see a bunch of sweaty people, and like a lot of them are dark, and like some sparks in
and
the
the ones
background.
after when they're coming off the ship.
Sure, and it's just like people who are like kind of happy, and a couple people clapping. No problem. He looks at all of these. And he just
Smiling
kind of
I
goes,
face.
have
the
literal
saviors.
footage of 899
Okay, this is better. And he like
because
takes
like
this and
I
he goes,
got
I'm gonna review
fucked
this.
up by 899, so I definitely was like, "There's 899," and then blackout.
Fist.
Like,
Fist.
Yeah.
Just follow up question.
Yeah,
holy
After
ma-
the train lost power, did the cameras have power or?
You don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
So Peep says, also, we're going to call Nazma real quick just because we just got to go over a couple things. Are you guys all ready? We're gonna
Oh,
just-
yeah, of course.
I'm
Spike
still
touches
looking
Echo, are
the
you
back.
heading
beat up,
back?
aren't I?
You don't have to. That's why I'm asking the question.
Echo begins walking back.
Do I have time to go pick up Squeak for the interview? I feel like he would pull
Oh.
really well with audiences.
Maybe, but right now, Peep is just going, well, hang on. And like you can hear Peep's communicator going off.
Oh.
He sets it down on this red case and he taps it, and you can see suddenly the image of Nazma appear. Oh, excuse me. This individual, like the entire face just looks like these strange, almost kind of like organic little like spindles. But he looks and just kind of goes, "Oh, hey, Mosaic Team 5.
Hey, good to
Glad
see
you're
you again.
back. Yeah, sorry about all the failure. But hey, you know, good news, you rescued a bunch of people off that train, and people love that. I just kind of got to know a couple things. Hang on real quick." And you hear like him tapping. Okay, first order of business. Did you injure any civilians over the time? Because that would be real bad optics. Nobody was hurt, right?
Bug
Stray
starts to
laser
sweat
fire or
a
anything
little
like
bit.
that?
I think everybody starts to sweat.
Tony Sr. was killed in
Oh,
action.
that's terrible. But I mean, like, did you guys kill anyone?
No.
Okay, so that's good. You can see he just starts like typing up a
No,
couple
only
things.
Bubs.
Next up, let's talk collateral damage. You guys have done quite a bit in the past. I mean, Waystation El Paso still company record, guys. Awesome. It would not be awesome to break it again so soon, though. So, I mean, how much damage?
Most
Well,
of the
do you
damage
consider
was
an entire train getting spaced damage?
Yeah, that's not good. And you can see Peep goes, the entire train?
No. We left the train with a few cars damaged, mostly in the engine area.
And you can see Peep
However-
like sighs, and Ozma goes, oh, that's good, because you guys are all in a lot of debt already, quite frankly. So,
There were unknown vessels heading towards the train when we evacuated.
yeah, no, we heard about that pirate attack, right?
Yes.
The USR is supposed to be dealing with it, but I guess we'll see.
We don't know what the status of the train will be after that.
That's a good point. Maybe we'll get lucky and it will get destroyed in the fight, right? Just kidding. It's not like you guys stole anything. You guys didn't take anything from the train,
No.
right? Make a bluff check.
Okay.
Bubs starts sweating like a lot.
-4 conditional
4.
modifier because Bubs is
Let's see.
sweating like a
19.
fucking pig.
19.
Yeah.
Wait. Natural 20. Great 21.
Damn. Okay.
He's not good at this either.
Nazma
For the
has a
record-
moment of clarity where he's
I
like,
rolled a 2.
Yeah, he just looks around and just goes, wait. Did you guys take something from the train? Like, if you just took, like, the blankets, I think that's okay.
I have a blanket.
That's fine. It's
What
just a
did you
blanket.
take?
I have a blanket.
Spice, what did you take?
I took a blanket.
I'm
I took a blanket.
You can see Nazma just suddenly mutes himself, and then you see Peep's personal communicator starts going off, and he goes, he just, it like gets really close to it and just starts listening, and you hear like a little, he's like, you see Nazma's face moving, and he's like talking about this other one. And Peep goes, Spice, what did you take from the train?
Okay, well, hear me out. Hear me out. It was a train that was just got, attacked. I thought it was free space. So I kind of
Spice,
thought it
what
was
is free space?
I took, do you know Tiffany? The statue of Tiffany?
What?
The Katydid Queen, are you familiar with her?
No?
Okay, well, then it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it
Wait,
doesn't.
did you take something, yes or no?
Spice stole presumably part of a statue that was guarded by Shore Point.
I helped her. I'm sorry, Pete.
Suddenly you see, like, on the other
It
end,
was an
Mazda
abandoned
just, like,
train in
drops
space.
his other communicator, and you can see he's just shaking his head and like muttering something, and then he unmutes and just goes, guys, you can't just be taking things.
It was
especially
an
not-
abandoned train.
Well, no, Spice said it's one of those 5-finger discounts, so it's okay.
That's
Babe, different.
Bubbles. That means stealing.
But isn't it from a corporation? She said that's okay too.
Okay, well, it sounds like we're going to need to do an inventory of Mosaic team property now. We'll set that aside for another time. Gibbs can be in charge of that. But for all of you, I mean, just square away with me, guys, because you're going on TJ's, and so everybody's going to hear about this. People
I have a
look into
hand
it.
from Tiffany of the statue.
So you stole a statue's hand. Okay. Statues break all the time, right?
Yes, they do.
So, I mean, what is it, like fist size? What are we talking about?
Spice is going to make a gesture of how big it is, but then shrink it
Ooh,
by her mind like 75%.
that's,
Bubs at the same time is going to be honest
Yeah.
and do the exact real amounts.
okay, even if it's somewhere between those two, that's not cool, guys. That's going to be thousands of credits worth of marble.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Okay, well, I'll start filing paperwork, but this is really going to be a drag, guys. This is going to get added to your debt. I'll do what I can. Maybe we have some good grace because you saved so many people. Anything else I need to know about?
You want to know about this coin?
What?
The EMP
And
coin?
Peep just goes, what coin?
The
What EMP coin? Is it going to go off right now?
No. It already
It's the
went off on the
remains
fucking
of
train,
the
Pete.
EMP
Relax.
that was used by 899.
Nosma kind of squints through. Thank you for the raid, by the way. Nosma squints through the communicator. You see like the hologram flicker a second, and he goes, "Oh, I don't really know about that kind of stuff. I would send that to Vesson."
Oh my god, my Lashunta brother lit Vesson. Yeah. Pete, hand this off to Vesson. She's
Oh,
gonna-
okay. And your little Isuki hands takes it and he tucks it away into his suit pocket.
Nazma, I would like to, just disclose that me and Spice are dating.
Oh, cool. Anything else that I should know?
We even have to file the paperwork.
No.
Oh, no, a long time ago. I mean, I'll mention it to SR, but a long time ago, we figured you can't really stop people from loving each other. They're just gonna do it anyways, you know?
Nazma.
That's really.
Nazma, did you
Cool,
fall in love with
That-
somebody
no,
in
that's
Mosaic
Orion's
before?
policy. That's way above my pay grade. I mean, I don't know who did
Well,
that.
that's very cool of Orion and you, Nazma.
Oh, thanks. I think you're cool too, man.
Oh. Thanks.
All right, well, I'm going to go get this paperwork started, and you guys all try to stay out of trouble, okay? All right.
No
And he
promises.
just hangs
Ow.
up, and Peep just goes, Spice, you cannot keep stealing things.
What? Hear me out. It
No.
was an empty train.
It doesn't matter. Stealing, it's the verb that's the problem, not the noun that you're taking. Oh, guys.
I don't think you're hearing me.
I am. Okay, listen. We'll get back to this at a later time, but in the meantime, it's really caught my attention. You guys haven't succeeded necessarily, and part of that may be because you're just a little bit under-equipped. You're going up against tougher foes all the time. So he takes his communicator off the red case and he pops it open, and inside there are 5 S-Tech Suit 3s. And he says, it's really just light armor, but it's kind of what we were able to get. It's definitely a step up from the last set of armor that I was able to give all of you, and it should be able to keep many of you safe. I don't know if it's better than some of what you guys have now, but we were also able to get some pistols for you. And he opens up the second case, and in it there are 5 Red Star plasma pistols, level 7.
Nice.
And then he says, and finally, I was able to get clearance. It's still a little bit gray about how we're going to be able to do this, but Orion said he got the okay to do an upgrade for your ship. Apparently, we're not going to replace your shuttle because this is better than the ones that we have. So is there anything that you guys need?
We would.
The guns are kind of dinky.
Yeah, we can use
We
better.
do need repairs on our weapon systems as well as better radar and sensors.
Well, is there a kind of weapon that you guys are looking for?
Big boom.
That Spice, that could be a Shade. Is there any particular weapon that you guys are looking for?
A multi-firing, fast, high-powered laser for the fore, and some sort of mine dispersion for the rear.
Amputation
and
laser.
Target locking missiles would be ideal.
Okay, you can see he's like typing this into his communicator. All right,
Any increases in shield efficiency would also
Torpedo
be beneficial.
phasers, sensor arrays. While we're at it.
a Death Star, not a sponsor. So yeah, he kind of nods. He types this all down, and he just goes, "All right, I'll see what we can do." I'm still not clear as to where we're going to get this done. We don't really know where the ship's from, but Orion said it would be okay. So I'll see what we can do. All right, so we only have like 2 minutes left. Are you guys ready for this interview?
Ready to go, Ruby?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, come on. And he goes over, and you can see the final case. He opens up, and very much like that, it is his green screen that he up behind. He can pop up these 2 little ring lights and get them set up. And he turns and says, "Are you guys all just gonna wear what you're wearing?"
No,
I'm
of course
like
not.
still.
You guys have like 2 minutes, so
I've still
go,
got
go,
like,
get ready.
battle wounds.
Yeah.
I'm at like low HP and SP.
So, are you? Is anybody changing?
I don't think there's anything I could do to change at this point. In a
Alrighty.
minute, I'm gonna like try to make
No problem.
make it look.
Wait a
less
second. So Spice
unpresentable.
sees she's going to match Shade in.
A hole in her stomach.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But
Oh,
I'm
wait a
gonna,
second.
what she's gonna do is she's going to make it seem
love
like
that.
we've we're survivors, and she's gonna play that up.
Okay, so go ahead and make a bluff check.
Bubs
Okay.
will also do the same thing with the glamour suit. He'll like make it look like it's evil, some parts missing.
No problem. Easy enough to do.
21.
21. With a 21, very easy for you to just kind of take up. I mean, you're just making yourself dirtier. That's very easy for you. So you do that, Bubs. You do your you're like, I'm gonna be filthy, and glamour projector, little tiny stain on your knee. Eventually maybe add a couple more things, and
Oh, I got 3 crumbs right on my hand. I counted them.
My God, look at you go.
and then all of a sudden, sorry.
Oh, with the last little bit of time, I would have gone through the exocortex footage to make like a little highlight clip of like the best moments, so that it looks good for the.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
And that we don't show anything that could hinder the ongoing investigations.
Suddenly, from that projecting communicator that Peep had moved, up pops this older Lashunta gentleman that you've seen previously. This is TJ, and he runs the Infosphere channel called Bounty Hunter TJ2. And this is the weekly TJ Bounties review. And you can see this is just like before, something that is happening live. And at first, he's not looking at you. He's kind of facing what you imagine would be like the audience. And if any of you do turn your communicator on and like flip over to his channel, you can see like the live show happening right now. None of you are on camera yet. And right now, there is major news in the bounty hunter world. And right as he wraps up this thing by saying, with this arrest, Rose Lashwind has finally broken the 1,000 mark. 943. We wish her all the best. And now, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming a number of heroes that we featured just a little bit ago as our rookie review. You may remember, and there is a brief, similar to what Shade was working on for you guys. It's like the highlight reel of your last interview, which of course starts with Spice.
I know. Damn, Talon, you ruined it forever.
There's a whole bunch of you can see kind of like on TikTok, like all those little smiley faces come up on the side, and there's all those things. But he kind of nods and goes,
I will never live that
yes.
down.
But this much more promising news coming from Mosaic Team 5 this time. Captain Spicinito, and apparently has not gotten the updated roster, as this was something that was done internally at Mosaic.
Spice beams.
It just kind of says, tell us about how you were able to rescue 32 people, not just from snakes on a train, but also a rogue android.
Let me tell you, it was extremely hard. Look at us. And she points to her team.
And you can see Peep just goes, oh, and he runs to the back and he pans the communicator and it just goes across all of
Bubs
you.
just goes,
It was
"Hi."
an extremely difficult bounty that we've been fighting. And she goes on to just tell this long, drawn-out story. And she goes, oh, yes, and my team.
Hi, I'm Bubs.
Make a general, we'll call it a,
Diplomacy.
yeah, call it a diplomacy check.
Have you, me? Or
Yes,
who?
you.
Oh,
You. You're the
sorry,
one
I thought
telling
it was
the story.
Bubbles.
No, so you launch into this exposition talking
Okay.
about how you all, fought off these snakes that came pouring out of the vents, thousands of them, eating people and stuff, but you were fearless. What was your roll?
24.
24. And so you catch this back up and you're right after the concert, we did X, Y, and Z.
Have you ever heard of Draft Punk?
And it's just this wild story, and it gets wilder and wilder as you go. There's the Katydid Queen. There's you guys get surgery. There's all these different things that are happening, and so you can see TJ is just nodding and nodding. And for anybody watching along on the Infosphere, your reviewing numbers are just going up and up and up right now. It seems to be landing pretty well. And at the end of that, TJ says, "Oh, that's fascinating. And you guys all must be after a huge bounty now. What are you guys looking for next? What's next for Mosaic Team 5?
Well, we have a few things on the roster.
Well, While Spice looks that up, this just did, and you can see he pulls up this little data slate and he says, it seems formerly ranked 1306, Jimmy 12 Toes has been removed from the rankings as a 100,000 credit bounty has been placed on them by the USR. And suddenly popping up on the screen, you see like Jimmy 12 Toes, his bounty rankings picture, and then just jail, and then like 100,000 dead or alive. And like the whole picture goes up, and then that cuts away, and you see TJ's smiling face again, and he says, "You have that name yet?"
I think Spice stares blankly at him for a little bit, knowing that Bubbles is gonna stare blankly. Yes, we have heard of Jimmy 12 Toes.
Oh yes, but I meant that was more news for the viewers.
Oh.
For you, who's your bounty? Who are you going after?
Oh, we're going after Chisomo.
Say that one more time.
Chisomo.
Chizomo. There you have it, folks. Seems Mosaic Team 5 will be making their way to Mars sometime soon. And he kind of nods, and then you could just see he turns and he goes, now moving on to the largest bounty claim this week. Slower week with a 75,000 credit bounty, and he just starts going on, and like the rest of the show happens with you guys kind of fading out into the background before the show wraps up after they do the largest bounty claimed, the most collateral damage, and then the top 5 bounty hunters in the galaxy. The show concludes, and then TJ turns around, just kind of wiping a little bit of sweat away, and goes, thanks, guys, for giving me this interview. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. My God, it's such an honor to be on your show.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are rising, and up-and-coming serious bounty hunters are always of interest to TJ. Are you guys really going after this person? I heard from a friend, you guys all had an Echo unit with you as well. You guys have an inside scoop on this Echo 899 unit everybody's talking about?
Can I sense motive?
Yeah.
I want to make sure he's on our side here. Okay, 14.
He's on the media side.
He kind of smiles at you, and you can see the mustache, the little wrinkled crow lines in his eyes. It just looks like a happy old man. And it's hard to tell because he does have makeup on. He's like all made up for this show. Mm-hmm. And so you can't get a great read on him.
Okay, Spice is going to be like, well, he's thrown us a bone, so I'll throw him a bone. And she's going to tell him about Echo.
So what do you say?
I'm going to go, well, while we were on the ship, we have an Echo, and they, Echo 899. There was a broadcast that went out. Have you ever heard of Pallades Rock?
Pallades Rock. Can't say that I have.
Spice.
What?
Do not say anything else.
What? He gives us bounties all the time. A bone for a bone, am I right?
I'm gonna close the communication.
Okay. Boom, you hang
Thank
up.
you,
And Peep just goes, whoa, you just hung up on TJ.
As that happened, Bubs goes, hi, I'm Bubs.
Echo had tuned in to watch.
Yeah, so you saw all that.
Echo
Wait,
immediately
was it still
sends...
broadcasting when he was asking that?
No, so that part was
No, it's
not
live.
broadcast
Okay.
for what it's worth.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
The part, so after it ended, he turned around and was like, "Oh, I heard you guys had an Echo unit." This is him now talking privately to all of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not live anymore.
But
After the
communicator
nip
hung
slip.
up, and Peep just goes, "That was really rude."
Yeah, what the fuck?
Is
That guy,
information
TJ
that you
throws
should
us a
not be
bone.
sharing with anyone.
He's a
What's
bounty
Pallades Rock?
board.
Matter.
You never heard about Pallades Rock?
No.
Yeah, our Echo is a part of Pallades Rock.
Spice.
What?
The information that we are privy to is stuff that we.
It's Peep.
Oh, the
knows
debt
everything.
holder that we bought. Gotcha. That old. Wait, what about them?
Spice is just like, what? Why doesn't Peep know about Echo?
Beep, beep.
Yeah, Pallades Rock, it's Echo units are being,
Beep, beep.
what?
They're being what?
Pallades Rock.
We
is
have
a
2
defunct
blank Echo
manufacturing
units on our
plant.
ship right now.
You can see, he hears that, and he just goes, "Oh yeah, no, I know what." And he just turns and he goes, "Like, what do you like? Do you have 899?
What? Spice is like literally looking around, being like, "What do you mean?
Do you
what?"
have 899 on the ship right now?
No, we have 2 just blank ones.
What do you mean blank?
Like, android, but whatever. She explains how there's 2 bodies on that ship.
Okay. So you're just like 2 bodies. They're not currently active. He just goes, those are corpses. I don't.
Echo wanted to save them.
Where's Echo?
Fuck if I know. They wanted to get the fuck off of USR territory.
Okay, go get Echo. Figure out.
Echo's definitely not gonna come if I call, so you gotta call them.
I'm okay.
And
I'll
me
try
and
to call.
Spice have a date, so we're gonna be busy.
Yeah,
No.
we're busy.
No, I explicitly.
We're out. Bye.
I explicitly.
You get to have this showdown.
Peep says, Shade, wherever Bubbles and Spice go, I expect you to follow. And I expect
When I come
you
dancing.
to go directly with them. If they are going on a date and they are getting ice cream, I expect you to be at the next stall.
Yes!
If they are going to the movies, I expect you to be 1 row behind. Do not let them out of your sight. Do you understand me, Shade?
Yes.
And tell Echo
Dope.
they have to go as well. And tell Gibbs they have to go as well. I do not want you separating. Not on Prime Station and not when things are this delicate.
This is the
guys like
DM
dancing?
talking.
No, this was, I know that they're going to go on a date and I think it would be hilarious to have everybody have to go. I've had this played out for a while.
I can't wait. Olive selfishly cannot wait for this moment.
I can't believe you guys. Just stay together. I'm going to go peep out. I mean, he just he stops.
Good to see you, Pete. Bye.
I love that.
And
It's his room.
quickly, so these 3 rooms are for all of you. He presumably has his own deal going on, but he very quickly, Echo, your communicator begins to ring, and it's Peep.
Sorry.
Not answering that.
You just
my
let it
God.
go and go and go, and you walk and walk and walk.
The last 20 minutes, I've been dying.
You, Echo, are walking back towards the Galactic Tower, which will take several hours.
Echo is walking back to the edge of the district
Okay.
and just kind of pauses.
So you pass the Kalen Empire Marine Surplus Store. You pass Gazaraku Siblings Ice Cream, the actual place that you were told about. You pass by the Hidden Truth, which seems to be some kind of a tchotchke shop. And you pass Minions of Madness Streetwear, which is like a cyberpunk fashion streetwear company. And you reach the edge of the Silver Strip, and you can see in front of you there is this kind of open door that is partially jammed open. Tape has been pulled across it, static tape that has warning and do not cross. And beyond, you can see kind of flickering the dirty hallways that form the Hollow Husk. Just pavement on the ground. You can see at one point many rice paper walls were here, many of them shot out or burned. You can see there are concrete pillars that go from the floor to the ceiling in the center of the halls, many of them badly graffitied over. You don't see any people beyond that, for what it's worth. But you are here on the edge of this very nice, if you turn around, families, balloons, people roller skating, and then right in front of you, just a sprawling industrial wasteland.
Echo looks to see if anyone's watching, and once the coast is clear, they're going to stealthily slip under the tape.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
I'm gonna whisper calm.
Well, hang on. This is all happening kind of while you're talking to people.
Oh, okay.
23.
Okay. You slip under the tape. Right into the Hollow Husk. You make your way within, and you can see you are within a large stretch of old industrial warehouses. There are alleyways that are dark and go off into these old and new piping systems. There's steam and dripping water, and here and there you hear the of electronics just still sparking in the distance. Running along the ceilings and the walls, there are pipes and wires, and this is a place where you can see evidence of people. There is trash. Here and there you can see in the dirt footprints. This is a place where somebody that has nowhere else to go might live. And you can see there is signs that people live here, but nobody is doing so out in the open. And that in and of itself, as you kind of slink against the walls, probably means that you want to stay out of sight as well.
Echo looks around to see if there's any like abandoned like tarps or blankets anywhere.
Yeah, there's a abandoned tarp like off in the corner, big pile of crates.
They pick one up and like use it as kind of like a cloak.
Okay, you do that. Off in the distance, you can hear the of like an engine, very far off in the distance, just through a street. You wait for a second, kind of listening, but you don't hear anything else.
They kind of walk like into the street proper, quote unquote,
Okay.
such that it is, and kind of like survey the wider scene.
Okay. You walk out and you reach a street that has, similar to the one that you came from, an elevated road, although it's in many places like broken down and not fully connected. And as you enter here, you can see that there is an individual who has kind of created a little space in the shadow of the pillar that holds up maybe 10 feet or so of concrete above. They have pulled some ropes down and, similar to you, have used tarp, although instead of fashion ensemble, they've made sort of like an A-frame lean-to underneath. And as soon as they kind of, well, actually, they don't seem to have caught sight of you, as you rolled pretty well. And they just kind of seem to be, at the moment, just like on their communicator, just kind of like buzzing and blinking through. And then all at once, they just slap it shut. And then you can just hear, what languages do you speak?
I never picked any, so I'm guessing just common.
Okay. So you hear, Fisarakunten. And they slap this long strap on their back, and you hear flesh tear. And they pick up the communicator again. Tap, 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 tap.
Just with some common sense, Echo decides not to head in that direction.
What you doing over there?
Hey, can you explain more about your religion that you're
Excuse
obviously
me, I
into?
think I'm a bit
No.
lost.
Echo kind of. How do you find a?
This isn't Times Square.
How do you find a killer in?
Alone?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I really hope I don't get serial murdered
Literally
around.
the plot of every murder mystery.
So Echo walks forward. Oh goodness. Echo kind of like darts across the street, and tries to see if there's any like a little bit more open community.
You haven't seen a whole lot of people here.
So it's just the one.
But you walk for a little bit, kind of like going away from that guy. That's clearly not a direction that you want to go. And you walk for a little bit. At about that point, you get messages from Shade and from everybody, and then Peep starts calling right about now. So are you doing anything?
With the ringer from Peep, Echo silences it,
Okay.
but allows the whisper come through.
Okay.
Spice told Peep. And TJ. Cut transmission before it got too bad.
Echo pulls out the Carbon Cartel amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Thinks about how they've worked hard to protect somebody else's secret, and they let it go to a TV personality. And just tucks it back in there.
Not just a TV personality. A TV personality is one of the most watched talk shows currently.
Draws the cloak tighter around and just continues on without responding at all.
Okay, no problem. So we'll get back to that in a second. For the rest of you, what are you doing? As Peep like panics and makes his way off, you could hear him just go echo, 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 and just like tapping his communicator.
I'm probably just on my comms making reservations for a place.
Okay. Where are you making reservations? What kind of a place?
A fancy place
So
for
if
my
you're looking for a
fancy
fancy
gal.
place, you're looking either in likely the Precarious Zone, the Librian Zone, maybe the Blue Zap District, or I mean,
Probably somewhere close to the dance studio, so we can just walk over or something.
so yeah, the $5 Milkshake Dance Academy is in the Librian Zone. You know that's where Gino's Pizza is nearby. Is that where you're going?
No, I can't
No, I can't.
I can't convince Spice that's fancy.
We're going back to
Make a
the
cultures
ship.
check.
I'm gonna get them to come back to the
Okay,
ship.
yeah.
Them-
14 plus
Are you all making your way back?
No.
Okay.
7 is 21.
The 21. Let me switch up the music here. A little less intense than Echo wandering the streets by themselves. Okay. So, you make your way back towards the ship, and as you do so, Bubs, you looking around for like a fancy place, you think about the Twilight Tulip and look for something kind of like that, like real high end, real fancy. Yes.
Oh, I was just frowning
Oh, so
because I had to
no.
take Spice.
So
No,
yes,
I'm
you were doing
I'm
that.
doing
Okay.
it.
What do you
So
mean you have to say Spice?
No, honey,
what does that
of
mean?
course- No, I love it. Babe.
What?
Babe.
Okay.
maybe
good.
not.
Say medium.
I'm not gonna let them go on this date because we're going back to the ship. You guys are in trouble.
So while you make a reservation for
About
2
what?
at Bar Len,
Okay.
you are just like thinking in your mind, oh, they're not going anywhere. We're going back to the ship, and you make your way back to the ship, no problem.
We don't.
You
What?
have you have a reservation, so you've made that now.
I imagine we're walking. I imagine we're like walking down from the rooms, and this is like where we're maybe about to split off. Or have you already left the ship?
So
I'm
you've
not
been
taking-
explicitly
You're not
told
out of
not
my
to
sight.
split up.
You are not getting
Okay.
out of my sight.
So I imagine we're down.
I will drag you to the
Okay.
ship if I have to.
um,
Peeps
All right,
orders.
dare you? All right, I'm gonna go get dressed.
Yeah. Okay, babe.
Shade, you want to come?
You're not leaving.
I'm going dancing.
Babe.
You just revealed very sensitive information.
I didn't
about
realize it was a
crewmate.
secret.
How did you not realize?
What
Where
do
have
you mean? Pip
been?
knows everything. Why are we gonna hide anything from our manager? Echo never told me
told
that was
TJ.
something. What?
Why would you-
TJ?
TJ is a TV personality.
He helps us out, so we're gonna help him out. It's
TJ helps us when it helps him.
we're bounty hunters. Of
There's
course, I'm gonna
information.
tell. I don't feel like you're hearing me.
Spice,
What?
I don't think you're
Shade.
hearing me.
What? Then tell me what you're thinking.
As we have discussed previously, there are things happening that are greater than what we understand. Pleiades Rock has some importance to what is going on between the USR and the GPF. We need to find that out.
And who better than to ask everybody in the fucking galaxy, Shade?
We need to keep the information that we hold relevant to ourselves.
Why?
Because that is a bargaining chip that we can use, not for someone like
Hear me
TJ.
out. Maybe we can get intel from everybody who knows.
What did we learn from TJ by revealing information,
It's a
personal
trade.
information about
That's
Echo?
how diplomacy works, Shade. Not that
was
you would
not your
fucking know.
information to share.
You just don't get it.
You don't get it.
Okay. Spice is gonna stomp off.
Okay.
Babe,
Where
babe.
where is she going?
Where are you going?
To the armory to get dressed for my dancing night.
So
I don't
10
know. Where
feet
are
away.
we? Or not
Stop
the armory,
into the
wherever.
armory.
To
We're
like
in the
our
closet,
room,
yeah.
whatever.
okay. I mean, yeah, it's the communal chambers. Gibbs is like sleeping in their bed. Yeah, no problem.
Bubs is gonna talk to Shade as Spice walks up. Shade, I agree with you, and don't tell Spice, but maybe we should have the conversation with Spice. But it's very hard trying to sometimes corral Spice into making the right choices, but her heart is in the right place.
Try corralling the entire crew.
You're right. Your responsibility it's harder. And I can
The
appreciate
information that Spice flippantly gave away is going to put Echo directly in danger. And she doesn't even care.
Bubs thinks on that for a moment. I don't want to make excuses for her.
Then don't. I'm gonna go check on Squeak.
Okay. You
And
open the door.
make sure that they're not getting off the ship.
Poof! He's happy. Little corgi jumps over and like is up on your thigh, no problem. And then whoop, you turn and just keep your eyes laser focused on the door, waiting for Spice to come out. Spice, you make your way over to the crew chambers. You're getting dressed to go dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Bubbles, what are you doing?
Bubs is gonna see Spice getting ready. And he has a glamour suit on, so he can just change whatever he wants to change into. But he's just gonna do that thing where you like where like a girl is like brushing her hair and he's just like standing like behind her, just like kind of just like staring at her, and just thinking about this relationship. And he's thinking about what Shade said about how she doesn't care about what Echo went through. And he thinks, is this what a 20-year-old is supposed to be? Is this where he's supposed to be at in his life at this moment? And he doesn't know. He doesn't know what a relationship with a person is like in terms of romance or even friendship.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what? You've been traveling with these people. You don't know what friendship is.
I mean, Echo said he wasn't a friend. So Bubs is he doesn't know where he stands with Shade. Sometimes he knows it's like a kind of a functional relationship. Echo, even though they spend time in the garden, who knows?
You look over at the garden and it's not looking great.
Yeah,
It's pretty shitty.
He just texts Steele and says, "Hey, if we have to crash at your place, is that okay?"
You message that to Steele?
Yeah.
Okay. You get a message back from Steele that says, "Sure, just you?"
I'm not sure yet, but there might be a couple guests. Is that okay?
We probably have space for 2 on the couch, 1 on the floor.
Yeah, that works, but I'll keep you updated. Steele, I know you previously had romantic engagements with people in life. Why didn't it work out with you?
Make a diplomacy check.
It's because I fart in my sleep.
Previous romantic engagements.
That's a 14 plus what? Diplomacy?
Yeah.
6, dirty 20.
I've been an agent for a long time, Bubs. And if you care about people, they become targets. This isn't a place where you can rest easy, even on the right side of the law. There isn't space for that for me.
So you separated yourself into 2 people. The one who used to care about someone else and the one who's still here.
I think we're a lot of people throughout our lives. Just remember the lessons that you learn from each one.
Bubs will, with that, he'll just leave it red.
Okay.
And he'll just continue watching Spice as he gets ready, getting ready, presumably. And
You get another message from Steele.
Oh.
So, are you coming over?
I can order pizza.
I'll keep you updated. Sometimes, plans change, but just where do you keep the key, or how do I get in if I have to get in?
I'll be home.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper calm to try and plan to meet up with Echo to formulate a plan for all of
Flashback to
this
Echo for a second here.
fuckery, while also just standing like right here waiting for them to try to leave.
I'll be right here.
I'm just gonna be glued to Bubs and Space.
Oh, I didn't realize you were coming, Shade. I hope you brought dancing shoes. Oh. Okay.
Echo.
What'd you say?
Give me just a moment here.
I said you look great.
You
Not
look
what you
like
said.
you're gonna go
I said
dancing.
you look great. Same phonetically thing that I said.
No, it's not.
Echo.
Yeah.
Again, off in the distance, you hear this. Something goes off. Hard to tell in the echoey chambers, the hollow husk, how far or near that is, but it fades into the distance now. And then after a couple of seconds go by, you can just hear, oh, and then you just hear metal scraping on stone.
Echo that readies their like weapon that's in the folding grip, and then the Mirage dagger in the other one.
Okay. So you get these ready. Are you hiding at all?
I mean, Echo's not brazenly walking down the street. Echo's like keeping to the sides and the shadows and kind of like
Cloak did.
Batmaning around. Not a sponsor.
So at the moment where you are, you can see that at one point this may have been like a place with a number of small shops. They're all like long since closed. You can see bullet holes in many of the shutters. There is layers of graffiti across many of them. And you can actually read in some of the graffiti here, in various different fonts and like ways of writing it. Huskheads, all one word. And you can see there are places where it's done in cursive and in various different colors, always with a little bit of a shaky hand. But
Echo like snaps a picture of it going past.
okay, you do that. There are a number of like these kind of steel shuttered shops. There is the sort of stone column that goes along the middle that has that elevated track above it. Where are you walking? So it's about 60 feet wide, and it seems like the sound is coming from off and to your left, but ahead of you.
Does it sound like it's coming toward me?
Yeah, and you can hear again that, and again. Oh, there's one around here. There's one around here. I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. I smell it. I smell it.
Echo's going to like reach up to like the overhead beams and kind of like flip up above.
Okay.
Just kind of like stay like high.
Make a
up.
stealth check. Make a good stealth check.
Yeah. So that's hold for maths. 34.
Okay. So you leap up and just cling right to the top. Any kind of small elements that you have, like the little USB thing, they all go and just hook in as much as you can so that you are securely attached and are not shaking anywhere. Nothing is coming loose. And you just like turn your head and the eyes kind of go down. And as you watch with narrowed eyes, you can see dark clad and almost like a tarp like you, wrapped around a humanoid looking figure, although already you can see distended mouth and metal, sharp, rusted looking, artificial, certainly teeth, like an extended metallic jaw almost. They are lugging behind them this pipe, although the pipe itself seems to have some element of circuitry that's been attached to it. As he scrapes it, you can see little blue flames just kind of drag along the ground behind it before they flicker out.
Does it seem like these like parts are like self-added in?
Yeah, this seems to be a homemade device of some kind.
Like the
Everything.
everything. Cool.
Everything but the presumably biological parts, although you've seen none yet. They're all this kind of black tarp, and you can see gloves, but they scrape this along, and then below you. Yeah. Near here. And he gets down, and you can see on all fours, the hood back, and you can see there are no eyes. There are just two mouths full of these metal teeth. And at one point, this may have been a human or a human-adjacent species, but they have heavily, heavily modified themselves. And you can see there is just oil leaking between the teeth, just all down this creature's face and their torso. And you can hear again, just sniffing, but they do not seem to see you. Are you doing anything?
Echo's like logging every detail away into like a note file. A little afraid to take a picture in case like any sound triggers anything.
Okay.
But they're logging this away. They've got it in a file. They have this file connected to the Whispercom system, and they're setting up something so that if they don't like check in on that file in an hour, it gets sent off.
Okay. Dead drop.
Dead drop.
Nothing here. Kinsey. And then he turns, and you could see this, like silent to this point, but this hulking individual, also almost certainly human. But you can see below the knees, it looks like the legs have been removed, and they have had these cybernetic enhancements implemented so that they stand close to 8 feet tall, but their legs like almost comically large, or it wasn't for the fact that they shed sparks and have these kind of jagged bits that are emerging from them. But they, out of the shadows, were silent to this point. And this individual who is on the ground with the 2 mouths just says, "Not here. Can't smell anymore." And then this huge individual just goes, "Doesn't matter. Head guy wants us." And this individual just goes, "Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Look around one more time." And you can see the mouths just, as he looks straight up, and if there were eyes, would be looking directly up at you, but these 2 mouths gape open, and you can see all the way down at the top mouth what looks like the hand of an android, just badly mangled, before he just and just like pulls it down into his gullet. And then just this hood goes back over the 2-mouthed head, and he just goes, "Can't keep the headman waiting though." Just scrambles over, and you hear this metal device dragged behind him, and the hulking figure follows.
How common of a name is Kinsey?
It's actually Hinsei.
Kinsey.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Very similar.
My God.
They
I was
seem
like,
to be, like, culturally at least, the same kind of name. But because it is 9:18, this is where we're going to end the evening, as that hulking figure stomps away. So thank you for everybody for hanging out with us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. We finally made it to Prime Station, home of Bubbles, and we'll be back next week, hopefully with Ari. We're going to be doing D&D tomorrow night, but we'll not be playing D&D the week after, as we are all going to a wedding. Yeah. And so that is going to be something. But tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can join us for Adventures in Oberon, Courts of Everest, as we begin to make some plans for a new arc. But until then, please stay safe. We'll see you later.
See you, space boyfriend.